everybody. Welcome to welcome to another episode. But it's not on Friday. It's not that. But we're having the pre-Thanksgiving episode of the Grand Slam, and of course, I am here with the Will and the Robin. Introduce.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello. And
I'm still a very, very large bottle of whiskey with a hat, and Robin is still very aggressively trying to turn some butter. And
There's no butter coming out.
well, that's because you're actually the churn goes up and down. You're wiggling it side to side. I don't understand why, but that's what you're doing.
yeah.
Robin, we've talked about this. You must churn the butter so we can take it to market.
All right, hey, let me try. I'll keep going. Ah!
Oh God, his power's over 9,000.
Oh God.
His power's over 9,000.
Will he get the butter
God.
turned soon? Find out next time on Dragon Ball.
That's for legal reasons. That's Dragon Bone Skyrim edition.
Yeah.
because you will buy Skyrim.
Yes.
On the PS5, it will happen. So yeah. Robin.
Well, welcome to the Grand Slam.
Yeah, we caught you off guard, didn't we? With that cutaway, you didn't know what the fuck to say, did you?
Because it cut to me. Welcome to my show, the Grand Slam.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I'm sure. You're not feeling so happy about going into that damn temple, are you? Wasn't such a good idea, huh? You get cutaway.
See, the YouTube people will not know that.
They will not know, but
We might include it.
Maybe.
We might include it at the end. Edgar might include that at the end so that they have to watch it all the way through to know what the hell's happening.
some of you guys won't know, but Robin had a little adventure going into a temple, but
Yeah. He walked into a temple. We told him, hey, get out of the temple. Didn't do it. Started singing. Things happened. Anyway, Edgar?
Yeah. Of course, Robin. But of course, we're doing the pre-Thanksgiving episode because Friday, most of us are not going to be available at that time since some of us are going to be celebrating it with our families. Which also we want to say, since we won't see you there, but we also want to say Happy Thanksgiving. Hopefully, you guys have Thanksgiving safely, but also have it spend time with your family or your friends or whoever you're with. But and
remember, if you're of legal age to drink and you're drinking on Thanksgiving, doesn't count, so it's fine.
Yeah,
none of those calories count. Doesn't matter if you get too drunk. It's Thanksgiving. You're supposed to. Is that a tradition for anyone else? No, just me. Okay. Wow.
But
I don't really drinking of that. It's mostly eating for me.
Yeah, food. Always love food, but of course, I want to ask you guys. I usually always ask you guys how you guys doing, but also want to ask how you guys doing, and also what your guys' plans for Thanksgiving.
Asking us how we're doing, and also wants to know how we're doing.
On Thanksgiving.
Doing pretty well. Finished the main storyline of Alien Isolation yesterday. Me and Will got to play a bit of Phasmophobia just before the show.
Yeah,
so
that happened.
Fun. Yeah.
Spoiler: Robin died.
Yeah, I died.
I'm pretty sure that the ghost grabbed him, drug him down the stairs, threw the camera away, and then just repeatedly punched him in the throat.
Oh God!
Until he died. By the way, the whole time this was happening, I was upstairs hiding in a corner sobbing.
The thing that was crazy was that he was following you, and because he was I guess it was glitched to where I was inside of him, so I saw his face right in front of my peripheral, and so I was like, "Fuck! Okay, I gotta keep running. And I tried to open the front door, but I was opening away from me and not towards me, and then that's when he killed me.
Well, I'm just happy it was you and not me. Anyway, so that was earlier. Robin's still very much alive. By the way, I did not guess the right ghost. I left his corpse in the hallway with the camera lying there, but very much dead.
We did get a cool crisp $5.
Oh yeah, we got a nice crisp $5 bill out of that because I took a picture of his corpse. I was just like, oh no, that's unfortunate. I'm leaving. I'll send this snapshots to the police and also his parents. Merry Christmas from Robin's corpse. But anyway, Edgar, have you been up to anything today involving Robin's corpse? I don't know what we're talking about anymore.
Not with Robin's corpse, no. But I mean, I was just getting stuff, doing homework, since finals are like coming right of the corner. So just getting some homework done, getting all that stuff there. But also, I'm excited for Thanksgiving. I'm ready to go, spend it with some family, get some turkey, mashed potatoes, pecan pie, apple pie, lemon meringue pie, apple pie, blueberry pie.
Okay. Two things.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you said apple pie twice.
Probably.
Are there just going to be multiple apple pies? But more importantly, secondly, what kind of nut pie did you say? There was a pie and it's topped with a nut that's native to Texas. What pie is that?
Pecan?
Yeah, it's pecan.
Pecan?
No, it's not pecan. What the fuck? Okay. No, it's pecan, not pecan or pecan. What? It's definitely not pecan, Robin. You're the most wrong.
I'm from California, okay, and Edgar's from Florida. All right, we're not gonna say.
Well, then fucking listen to me. I'm correcting you, and you don't need to be corrected anymore. It's pecan, certainly not pecan.
Good old pecan pie.
I like how I was gonna start with like Robin telling me, like Will telling me like, oh, how it's pronounced, but then Robin comes out of nowhere with this word.
10-gallon hats.
Captain Vulgar, it's not peckin. No.
Peckin.
No.
Peckin.
Heckin' pie. Oh, that's a heckin' good-looking pie.
My favorite pie is
gosh. Oh golly, that's a good-looking pie there, Gertrude. That's just a cracker jack of a pie.
Is that lemon meringue pie, me? I like lemon meringue.
It's not lemon meringue actually. It's actually fish.
Oh,
so what you do is you get a pie crust and you make a fish and you whip it with whipping cream and you actually top it with just a little bit of raw egg.
Yo, did somebody say whippets?
Oh, God. No. No.
Oh man.
No.
Wait, so the fish pie is not like what do you call it, the chicken pie, the one they sell the one they sell in the stores? Not the
this is an old family recipe that was handed down from my crazy Uncle Pete. He lived in a woods by himself and never really talked to anybody but moose. But he really loved this pie. Anyway, it's kind of a tradition after we found out that...
does it taste like sweet or does it taste like sour?
It just generally tastes bad.
Oh. Why do you make it?
Oh, because of the one time that we found Pete in the woods with the moose, and it was a tale. But I don't have time to go into that now. I've got to grate the Parmesan and the nutmeg over the top of the pie.
Oh, you have nutmeg pie too?
Yeah, if you eat too much of it, it's not good for ya. But that's what happened to Uncle Pete. Anyway, back to the show with the peoples in the studios, Robin.
True. Robin?
Hey, it's your cousin from Boston.
Nope, we're not doing that bit. Okay, so the movie reviews. Let's get to
FYI, we love you people from Boston. If anyone from Boston watches this show, we love you.
I don't see how that was a diss on Boston. I was just doing the accent.
Well, not you. Well, it's when we'll cut you off. So we're like, no, we love our Boston people. We'll listen to our Boston people.
Maybe not all of them.
Anyway.
Robin. Well, I mean, like maybe not all of them. We'll listen to a sizable population of Bostonians. It'll be fine.
If you're from Southie, just turn around.
Well, not all of you. Not all of you. Some of you are good. It's fine.
Some of you are good.
Everybody's got an uncle. Anyway, Robin.
Cuts back to him again. I just talked.
No, see, because the camera panned away from you, panned to me, and then a camera pans from the other side of you, so it's like a circular mode. It's anyway, Robin, and it's like, where the fuck did you come from?
Why is it just a albino man just runs up to me with a camcorder?
Well, actually, he's just Swedish, and that's a mean thing to say. And
we love our Swedish people.
They're just a pale people. It's just very generally darker there. They're just paler. And
he's
very blonde.
Pretty heavily.
He's what?
He's breathing through his mouth pretty heavily.
Well, he ran. He ran the whole way. He was on the other side of the room.
I literally just saw him sit down over there and run over here. How did he run out of breath from that? I don't know.
Well, they were eating a lot of that fish pie. It's not good for you, and it tastes bad. But anyway,
makes you want to go take the sheets.
Edgar, let's get into these movie reviews before one of us die. Jesus, man, you must have been eating a fish pie. Let's get into these movie reviews, Edgar.
True. So yeah, as we said before, we're doing a double feature, and first movie we saw two movies, and we want to start off with one of them, and the one that I think we should start off with. I don't know what order you guys watched it, but this is how I watched it, and I guess this is how I'm gonna start it. But we saw two movies from the 80s. Both were comedies, I guess you could say. But yeah, but we'll get into that. So the first one we want to start off with is Harlem Nights, which came out in 1989, and it was written, directed, and starred Eddie Murphy. And
it also had Richard Pryor.
It did. I do want to point one thing out, because I just saw something on our on the Grand Slam Discord. If you want to see what's in the Grand Slam Discord, go into it soon. Go into it now. Go check it out. But I saw someone mention a certain movie that I think Robin's very familiar with. I heard from sources. That Will has told me that you're a huge fan of this franchise.
I'm not a fan of it. Fuck you.
But Will told me that you were a huge fan of it, and it's I haven't even seen it either, but sorry, maybe we'll get into it. Who knows? But it's just I want to get Robin's quick thoughts on the recent announcement and trailer of Boss Baby 2. I think. Okay,
let me just tell you something. All right. The first movie is dog shit. I don't understand why it got nominated for Best Animated Picture.
It was the Coco Award.
You can't make it past. I couldn't make it past the first 30 minutes to 45 minutes of the fucking film without having to get can we please turn this shit off? It is so annoying as hell. I could make it through the entire Emoji Movie and come out of it fine.
Oh God.
and that movie is notoriously bad. But my God, like Boss Baby is just terrible.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, Captain Vogel's
No,
like,
you don't have to.
Oh,
you don't have to read my shit, Edgar. Only read the other people's.
Okay, I know Captain Vulgar put. He's like, Robin used to not be able to shut up about Boss Baby. It was his favorite movie when it came out.
Shut up, Frank.
Robin, didn't we double feature Emoji Movie and Boss Baby? Oh God.
I remember watching. We tried to watch both of them. By try, I mean that was where we only got like through 30 minutes of Boss Baby, but we watched the whole thing of Emoji Movie.
That's insane.
Because it was so bad that we were just making fun of it the entire time. At least when it came to Emoji Movie. Boss Baby, it just was bad. Like, I don't understand why it was nominated at all. It's not a good movie. Like, I'm just like wanting to like, hey, like, I tried to watch it first with somebody back at the university on their phone. That was 30 minutes. Couldn't get through it. Then we tried to watch here in my place. 45 minutes. Couldn't get through it. So then we watched Emoji Movie, and we got through that, and 3 out of the 4 of us were laughing along with it, having fun with it. But
damn.
Like having fun because of just how bad it was, because we were making fun of it. But like, oh my God, I think it was because of Emoji Movie. That's when I was just like, I think I like to watch terrible movies if I know that like I can, if there's some funny shit of it being terrible. Boss Baby is just terrible.
Robin, I don't think you're understanding the cinematic masterpiece that is Boss Baby, so can I mansplain it to you real quick?
Okay, fine.
Okay. It's a baby. But it's the boss.
Oh my God.
Also played by
It's just...
Alec
I'm not
Baldwin.
done. It's just hilarious. That it's Alec Baldwin, it adds to the humor, actually. But it's a baby. And it's the boss. It tips the entirety of society on its head, Robin. It's a deep movie about control and power, and it's satiring fascism, Robin. Come on. The whole thing is picking apart. It's picking apart fascism and authoritarianism, and it's because it's flipping it because it's Boss Baby.
Oh my God.
It's basically the next. It's this century's answer to The Great Dictator. Robin, you just don't understand it.
Oh my fucking God. Damn.
And now there's a sequel, and not only there's one baby, but there's 2 babies now.
Oh my God.
2 babies that are boss. One's a baby boy, the other's a baby girl. So we have Boss Baby Boy and Boss Baby Girl. Double the boss, double the fun of Boss Baby the movie.
Jesus Christ. Can we just move on to Harlem Nights?
Yeah. Anyways, back to Harlem Nights.
Thank you, Bob Semple, in the Discord saying I repress that movie exists. Thank you. God.
But you know,
Okay. Harlem Nights.
Harlem
Nights.
Harlem
We're
Nights.
getting into this.
Yes,
It's a movie. Stars, written, directed, Eddie Murphy.
Oh yeah. Brendan. Sorry, Brendan. I'm sorry. Crowder. Sorry, I couldn't say the whole name right. I was trying to see it here, but it kind of disappeared around me. I'll see where I could find it. But hey, you, Mr. Brenda or Brendan, I don't want to.
Brendan.
Brendan, thank you for accepting the burger. We're thankful you accepted that burger. Hope you enjoyed the burger.
It's an all-American beef patty, unless you're a vegan, in which case it is in fact made out of vegetable matter, and it's topped with tomato, onion, relish. That's not pickle, it's relish. It's a dill relish, and it's got a little bit of spice in there.
Ooh.
And mayonnaise. But if you don't want mayonnaise, we also have Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders, what is it that you recommend putting on all meals that you have? Spicy brown mustard. Spicy brown mustard.
And spicy brown mustard.
Yeah, a spicy brown mustard, and it's on a brioche bun. So
nice. But yeah, we appreciate that you accepted the burger. So hey, man, thank you.
So thank you so much. Welcome to the show.
Welcome to the show.
Also, where were we? Right, Harlem Nights.
Yes.
Eddie Murphy directed, starred, produced. I don't know. He
And
probably
written.
ran the camera from time to time. Written. He did everything. He did the costumes. He drove all the cars. I'm pretty sure he was the mayor in the town that they filmed it in. Anyway, Eddie Murphy did everything in this movie, but it also stars Richard Pryor and Red Fox and a cast of other huge actors, including Arsenio Hall. Yeah. And Charlie Murphy. Charlie Murphy's in it.
Charlie.
I didn't even notice Charlie Murphy.
Charlie Murphy's the guy who
in the newspaper stand.
Yes, that's Charlie Murphy.
Okay.
So, the movie opens. There is a kid.
It said it was in Harlem, 1913.
Yeah, something like that. Early 10s, and it's supposed to be a young Eddie Murphy, and he's running towards a nightclub, kind of a dingy nightclub, and he runs inside. He knocks on the door. And this big guy swings open the peephole, looks down, opens the door, and kind of goes, "What do you want?" And he goes, "I've got Mr. Sugar's cigarettes." So he goes, "Go in the back," and he opens the door. The kid goes in. So people are drinking. There's people sleeping in the corners of this place. He walks through a hallway that clearly prostitutes are active. He gets to the back, and they're throwing dice. And Richard Pryor is the croupier, or the guy with the stick that, brings the dice back after they're thrown. And the guy who's throwing the dice is like, "The hell's this kid doing here? I hate kids. They give me bad luck." Which automatically, you don't like this guy. I want it to be very clear. This guy is not pleasant. And
he hasn't even rolled the dice yet in the movie. He's like, he's holding it because he doesn't want he's like, "Kids give me bad luck. Get that kid out of here."
Yeah, and Richard Pryor is just like, you've been taking 38 minutes, man. You roll the damn dice. The kid's staying. It's fine. And eventually he says, "Fine, I'll roll the dice, but I better hit, or else I'm be pissed." And he rolls, he busts, or I don't know dice terms. He rolls crap. Is that what
that's what he said.
Yeah,
he rolls crap.
Yeah. So he rolled a 7. Anybody in here play dice? I don't know. Chat, y'all play dice. He rolls the thing he didn't want to roll, which was bad, and he lost his money. Clearly, we're all great gamblers. We know everything. He doesn't roll well, and he goes, "Man," and all the money's gone, and he pulls a knife, and he's gonna cut Richard Pryor the whole time. And Richard Pryor starts talking really smoothly to him, and the whole time he's trying to find a gun that's underneath the table that he can't find. Lo and behold, Eddie Murphy at the age of what, 8, 9,
maybe 8, 9,
12.
That's what I was thinking.
he has pulled the gun and bam, shoots this guy right in the head. He falls down dead. And young Eddie Murphy goes, he was gonna cut you, so I shot him, or something to that effect. And Richard Pryor goes, yeah, okay, you ought to go home to your mama. And he goes, my mom's dead. Well, you ought to go home to your daddy. My dad's dead. Well, I guess you gotta go home with me. And then he turns to the other guys that are in the room and says, could y'all help me get rid of this body? And everyone grabs an arm, a leg, and Red Fox says, come on, we're gonna put this guy in the furnace. That was funny. And then, that's the opening scene.
And it's like 20, I think it's a 20 years later.
Yeah.
And then we actually get Eddie Murphy in there. Like, this is young Eddie Murphy. Really young.
Yeah, this is Eddie Murphy in 89. This is like prime Eddie Murphy.
Yeah.
Like, he, he grows up and they've got a nice, successful club, him and Richard Pryor.
Underground nightclub.
Yeah, it's an underground. Eddie Murphy's character is named Quick. That's his name. His name's Quick. And Richard Pryor's character is Sugar Ray. And he owns, quote unquote, and operates a candy shop, which is the front for his nightclub. Because this is during Prohibition, so liquor's illegal. So he owns a candy shop. And you go through the candy shop into the back, boom, nightclub. Which is pretty successful. Well, this nightclub's getting really successful, and the white mob boss, whose last name is Calhoun, sees that it's a problem because it's affecting his bottom line.
Yeah, and he's all like, I want that cut of the money, so, he's just...
And he...
Go on.
Oh, I was going to say, so he has a meeting with some of his guys, and one of the guys in the meeting goes, I don't understand one thing. We have the same amount of people every night, but our take is just a little bit lower than it usually is. Same amount of people, smaller take. And they go, well, that's a problem. Who's in charge of the money at these locations? And they name the guy. And what's his name? Like Tommy Smalls or something like that?
Something like that.
Yeah. And they go, well, he must have been skimming off at the top. And the guy who brought it up, Calhoun goes, you brought him in, didn't you? And he goes, yeah, but he wouldn't do that. He's a good guy. And he goes, yeah, no, he's been doing it. He's been skimming off the top. And he says to the guy to put his hand inside of this grand piano.
Oh, yeah.
And he puts his hand there, and Calhoun slams the lid down on the guy's hand, and he goes, go fix your hand, and then with your good hand, I want you to go kill Tommy Smalls. So, that's the plan.
And I guess you could say that's like the whole kind of like main like sitch going on with the whole movie.
Yep, the main thing, the Calhoun wants his operation to make as much money as he can. Eddie Murphy's club, well, Richard Pryor's club, but Eddie Murphy helps run it. His club's much smaller in comparison to all of Calhoun's clubs, but it's successful and it's affecting his bottom line. And eventually in the movie, he sends a guy over, a cop, played by what's his name? Danny Aiello. A cop played by Danny Aiello to be like, hey, Calhoun wants your club, and he wants you to leave town. And Richard Pryor and Eddie Murphy and all of the rest of the people who work at this club outright reject that offer because they like the club. They're making money.
And basically, like, the offer was like they would only get like 5 because they're like, oh, we see you make $15,000, and the boss is like, we're gonna take 10,000 of it, and you keep the rest. And he's all like, well, the boss is generous, but my idea was to give you just enough to pay for the place and all that stuff. And they rejected it, and they're like, no. And he's all like, I ain't asking. And you get the whole situation of them, of the I guess his name's Calhoun. That's the name? Calhoun. That's his whole thing. And he's trying to take that thing, and he's doing anything in his power, since Calhoun basically owns everything in Harlem. Like, he owns a lot of other clubs. He basically has cops on payroll and judges as well. So he has a lot of power, and he wants more of that power. Calzone. Yes.
Ah, yes. That great mobster whose name was Calzone. Okay. So that's kind of a little bit of the narrative stuff, but there's a great scene. So part of all of the people who work at this club, like, there's this madam. So she's in charge of all of the girls who work at the club, who are prostitutes. And at the end of the night, in one scene, they're counting up all the money. And it's like, the bar brought in this much, the door brought in this much, we won this much at the tables.
Oh, yeah.
All we need now is what the girls brought in. And they're waiting for the madam to get there. And she's late. And she comes in, and Eddie Murphy's like, where the hell were you? We do the count. 4 o'clock every day. Are you late? And she tells him to shut the hell up, and to I think her catchphrase is kiss my entire ass.
Yeah.
And that's just great. Well, she comes in, and she goes, I got $200. And he goes like, 200? Like, the girls have been working all night. How do they only have $200? And she goes, well, what are you trying to say? He basically accuses her or the girls of skimming off the top.
Yeah.
And she says, oh, like, I've had enough of it with you. You and I are going to go outside. And she's going to fight him. And Eddie Murphy's like, what? Huh? You want to fight? Well, bring it on, old lady, you fat old lady. And she, like, goes outside. She takes off her earrings. And
like, she has her hands up and she's ready to fight.
Yeah, she's got her hands, like, up. And she hits him with 2 good jabs. And he's like, oh, like, stumbles back.
And he's like, oh,
so he,
you
like,
actually gonna fight.
He looks at these guys that have come outside to watch them fight, and they both look at him and go like, I don't know. And so he gut punches her and hits him, and he talks a little smack, and she's like, you hit like a bitch, and just pops him in the head, knocks his ass back.
Like, she uppercuts him.
Yeah, she gives him an uppercut, knocks him down, and she, like, kind of, like, walks over to him and, like, is gonna knock him out. And Eddie Murphy grabs a trash can lid and smacks her in the head, and then hits her with a trash can, and she goes down. And he's like, all right, that's enough of this foolishness. I don't want to do this again. Now you know your place. And he starts walking away. She gets back up and she goes, oh, you want to hit people with garbage cans. Now I gotta cut you. And she pulls out a straight razor. And Eddie Murphy, like, steps back, and he's like, you got to put that down. And he pulls a gun.
He's like,
I'm not lying.
He's like,
I'm gonna shoot off your pinky toe. I'm gonna shoot off your pinky toe. You put that razor back. And she takes a step, and she goes, you won't do shit. And he, bam, shoots her pinky toe off.
It's like right there, and then it cuts instantly to, like, the ambulance carrying her to the back. She shot her pinky toe.
Yeah, and Richard Pryor's just yells, "We're gonna find your pinky toe." He goes, "You didn't have to shoot her. She was gonna cut me. You didn't have to shoot her. She wanted you to respect her. She was gonna cut me." And it's like, nah, you shut off her pinky toe for no reason. Anyway, that's just one of the scenes that I love. You shot off her, like,
yeah.
He shot off her pinky toe.
It
comes up again.
Mm-hmm. There is one scene, but, like, we'll talk about it later, that it reminded me of, like, I think you know what scene it is, but it reminded me of Total Recall.
When we get to it, I'm sure I will.
Yeah.
So then Calhoun sends the dirty cop to intimidate Pryor into letting go of his business. He actually sends him to his house. Like he's in his house when he gets there.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And this cop's like, "How'd you get so wealthy?" And this movie has a lot of racist remarks, but it's set in the 30s and it's part of the comedy. So I'm not saying it's like a good part of the movie. It's like, oh boy, howdy, I sure did love all of the racism. No, that's not good, but it's true to the time.
Yeah, the way they spoke was from the time, I guess you could say.
And or at least inspired by it.
Yeah.
And so Calhoun's cop is like talking to Richard Pryor, who's like a well-off guy. He's got a nice house, like it's a really gorgeous house, well decorated. He's got he actually makes a line about like the cop goes, "That's a nice suit. That off the rack?" He goes, "Off the rack? No, this is tailor-made." He goes, "Oh, that's very nice. I shop off the rack." And Richard Pryor goes, "I can tell your clothes fit you so well." And like, and the cop kind of like goes from smiling to like a little bit angry. Anyway, he calls him a name and then says like, "I don't know why I have to shop off the rack and you have such a nice house. And how'd you get so rich?" And Richard Pryor goes, "Oh, the candy business. Oh, the candy business has been very well to me." So that's the scene where Richard Pryor's character first is like, "Oh, they're muscling in on me. They're about to like really show up." And then the cop in like the next couple of scenes, the cop shows up to the club, not just to his house, but he's in the club now. That means he got past the door. So he's in the club and he's dancing real stupid. Like everybody else is dancing because there's a band playing and they're having a good time. And this guy's like just snapping his fingers and like shaking his ass on a small set of stairs or something. And then he like looks over and he like sees Richard Pryor, and Richard Pryor's just like, "Oh shit," and he's smiling. And Eddie Murphy's character Quick goes, "Who the hell's that?" He goes, and he's smiling and just looking at the guy and goes, "Oh, that's the guy who came to my house the other night from Mr. Calhoun. I guess he got in, And he's like, "Yep, Calhoun wants the club. He wants 65% of everything, and that's the deal. Or else we have to get a little dirty." So Richard Pryor then has to call a meeting because he's got to tell everybody, "Look, this is what's going to happen." And everybody says, "I can't live on a third of what I'm making now." And then we get to the fun part.
Oh, God.
The fun part where Richard Pryor's character basically says, "We'll just rob Calhoun and leave town." And they go, You're crazy." He goes, No. There's going to be a boxing match between Jack Jenkins, who's a black world heavyweight champion boxer, against Kirkpatrick, something like that, who's white. So they make the plan to bet everything they have on Kirkpatrick, even though they know Jenkins is gonna beat Kirkpatrick. And everybody says, "But Jenkins is gonna whip that guy's ass. Why would we bet on him?" Because then Calhoun is gonna think that the fix is in, that they've paid off Jenkins to take a dive, so that everybody who votes for Kirkpatrick is gonna win big money. So they think Calhoun's gonna put in maybe $500,000. He thinks the fix is on.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter how much money they put in because they're going to rob Calhoun. Because Calhoun's the biggest bookie in town. So they're going to take their money back and Calhoun's money. And at the end of the night, they're going to walk away with $50,000 each, which in the 1920s and 30s was like real money.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. It's I was like, oh, okay. I guess that's where it started to pick up for me. A lot of the movie was starting to pick up when like they started making this plan to.
Yeah, I was about to say like it didn't really catch my eye all that much until they started like coming up with the idea. There was one scene that kind of made me kind of like, wait, that doesn't. It was the part where Arsenio Hall sees realize it's after he's found out that his brother's dead.
His brother who's Tommy Smalls.
Yeah, so, he tries to shoot.
Calhoun had Tommy Smalls killed because Tommy Smalls was skimming off the top.
Mm-hmm.
But they thought it was Eddie. They thought it was Quick that did it.
Yeah. And then
they went out. When they went after him, the one part that kind of made me kind of like, wait, hang on a second, was when they were on the bridge. And like I noticed, like it's supposed to be set in Harlem, and I know it's like, oh, you just kind of have to take that away from it, and I did, but it's just at first, like I kind of like it was one of the bridges that they used in L.A., and I was like, I've played so much L.A. Noire that I immediately recognized what that bridge was. So I was just like, this is taking me out of it a bit. This is not in Harlem. This is in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
This is when you're going from the industrial place over to where like the military base is. Over
but
the
Robin, you've gotta think it's Harlem, Robin.
I know.
I will tell you why. I don't know like the full like cities or towns in Harlem or like how everything looks, so I didn't notice that part. But I know around that part when Mr. I'll call him Calzone, but Calzone wanted to talk with Quick and ask him like, oh, be part of my team. He's basically like asking him to join him and ditch Sugar Ray, but Eddie Murphy says no, and because at first he thought he was gonna have dinner with Calzone's girl, and but then like when Eddie Murphy declined the offer and he left, Calzone asked his girl, he's all like, do you like him? Like, do you like him to the point where you know want to fuck? And I was like, oh, and she's like, yeah. And then so he basically uses her. He's using Calzone uses that girl to like try to persuade to get close with Quick so they can kill him and take him out of the picture.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out which one. Who was supposed to be Calzone?
Calhoun. His name's Calhoun, but we're just gonna call him Calzone from now on, I guess.
The big boss guy. The big boss guy. I call him Calzone because I see Calzone here and it's making me hungry. But
where do you see Calzone?
In the chat.
Stefan, you're not looking at the chat, Robin. God, Robin.
You get in the chat, Robin.
Robin spends too much time not looking at chat and
because for some reason on my phone the Twitch is buffering on my end.
Well, so Stefan commented Calzone.
Yeah.
Like, Calhoun. Oh, do you mean Calzone? No. We don't. His name's Calhoun. But for the sake of continuity, let's pick a name here. We're gonna call him Calzone. Okay. So, Mr. Calzone basically has a woman that is on his payroll and who is his mistress, and who he lets have sex with other men, who kills other people, and also is his mistress. It's a very strange relationship, but it seems to work out for them. I'm happy that they're happy. But anyway,
So after like Quick leaves after leaving talking to Calzone with the offer and declines it, that's when Small's brother, like when they were following him, it cuts to him like he's like in tears and he's crying because his brother dead, and that's when they start following him and they go to the
man, and it's a beautiful scene. Like, it's so funny because Arsenio Hall is crying the entire time.
Yeah.
Because he just discovered that his brother got killed, and he
Yeah.
thinks Quick did it. So he's like, Quick! I'm gonna shoot you, you bastard! And like they all have guns.
Yeah.
And
And so they're
Chasing him.
chasing Quick, and then they're like, oh, when they get close, like Quick like hits him on the side, and so that makes like Small's brother and like the other guy next to him like move like boom, boom, back, and then it starts, and they have their fingers on the trigger, so like it's shooting around, and they kill the guy in front of them, which I forget what his name is. What's his
Junior.
Junior. Like,
Junior.
oh my god,
They
you killed
killed the
Junior.
driver. They killed the driver. Yeah, oh god, you killed Junior.
Yeah, the driving. He was in the passenger seat on the front.
Oh, he was passenger. Okay.
Yeah, no, because the car was still going. It was just that ship going like, you killed Junior, man. It's like you.
Meanwhile, the actual driver's just not phased by it, which
Yeah.
I think is funnier.
He has a straight in space going along while this is happening. He's just like, huh? While Junior is dead, and he's like, I didn't mean to kill Junior, man. I'm sorry that I killed you, Junior.
It just makes it like him being not phased by it's like this happened before.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna keep driving.
Same shit, different day.
And then when they when they finally get to like that like not alleyway but like in the streets, and then Eddie Murphy crashes his car and he jumps off. He's like rolling around like in the streets, and then this is the part where it reminded me. It's like when his Smalls brother guy, he goes, Quick, and all I could think was like, Quaid, Quaid, you killed Junior, Quaid.
Quaid, you killed Junior.
You
killed my brother.
Quaid.
The comedy in this scene plays out so well because Arsenio Hall and his right-hand man both have Thompson submachine guns, and Arsenio Hall's just crying like he's just, Quick, and then ba 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 ba, you killed my brother, Quick, I'ma kill you, ba 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 ba. And Arsenio Hall's best friend here that's with him that also has a Thompson, his nose got broke, so he goes like, so he fires ba 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 ba, you broke my nose, ba 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 ba. And the driver has a pistol and he just goes pop. He never says a single thing, so it's like a few rounds from each Thompson and then pop. And at one point Arsenio Hall just like grabs him and says, don't you be firing that little shit, like and the whole time Eddie Murphy's just ducking and covering, and then they fire and he blind shoots over the corner. He just goes bam bam bam, and then it's silence and he looks up and they are dead. And he just goes, huh, like runs out, gets a cab.
I do want to point out that the gun that Quick is using, it looks eerily like the same exact gun that Axel Foley uses. Like, it has the same pearl grip. It kind of looks like a high-powered Browning. Axel Foley from Beverly Hills Cop. Just.
Oh, okay. I was like, what the hell are you talking about?
Yeah, like, I don't know if you guys noticed that, but it looked eerily similar. I wouldn't doubt it if like he kept the prop and then he used it in the movie.
It took a while. Well, I've never seen Beverly Hills Cop, but when you brought it up, I was like, oh, okay, I know what you're talking. Like, who the hell is Axel Foley? What are you talking about? I'm like, oh, you're talking about a different movie. I'm like, oh,
Beverly Hills Cop is a great movie.
Who knows? Maybe one day we'll review it on here.
Maybe
not.
It came out in '84, so
maybe.
Anyway, but so he gets back to Sugar Ray's.
Yeah. And he never tells him that he was getting shot by Smalls' brother because they thought that he was the one who killed Smalls.
Yeah.
And I don't know why, but like for the whole time of the movie, I always thought Sugar Ray was gonna die. Like there was gonna be something where like, Calzone was just gonna kill him there, and then that's what was gonna motivate the movie. But surprisingly, he never dies in the movie. And I was like, interesting. And then, oh wait,
Oh yeah.
Juju Bijou. Thank you, Juju, for the. Hope you enjoyed the burger. Hope you enjoyed the Grand Slam burger. Thank you for following us. It's whatever burger you like, whatever you have it, or whatever you crave. That's the burger's gonna be. It's the burger of your dreams. It's the burgers you desire. Thank you for accepting the burger, Juju. Thank you for accepting the burger.
We got burgers. That's on all of our merch. It just says we got burgers. But it after in the movie, like, so he escapes death. He takes a cab because he's wrecked his wrecked his car, and he gets back to the club. And Richard Pryor is told, like, oh hey, Quick's here. He took a cab. What the hell's he doing in a cab? He has a car. Well, he used to. He once had a car that he no longer has said car. But
the car.
He gets word that Calhoun's lady friend wants to see him. She wants him to come over. Alone.
Quote unquote.
And
it sounds like but they did. They were gonna do the inappropriate things.
Yeah, they were going to have relations. They were gonna have relations.
They were gonna do something that they were gonna do something that was gonna involve both of their bodies to touch each other.
The beast with the two backs. Anyway, so that's what they're thinking, and so Eddie Murphy comes over, and they're in like the parlor, and they're talking for a little bit, and you know, she says like, I'm employed by Mr. Calhoun, and oh okay, and then she goes, oh well, I want to go upstairs.
Yeah. And
so they go upstairs. And Eddie Murphy's like, you know, taking his jacket off and everything, and she's in the other room getting ready. And he's like moving pillows and taking the duvet off of the bed, and he sees a gun. And he's got his gun pulled too. And he goes, oh, that's sweet. It's just, look at this thing. It's so cute. Oh, we're so much alike. She carries a gun.
She's like,
in the bedroom.
Also, Juju, we are talking about Harlem Nights, written, directed, and starred by Eddie Murphy.
It's a movie with, Eddie Murphy, Richard Pryor, Red Fox, Charlie Murphy is in it as well, as well as several other good actors.
Oh yeah.
So he knows about the gun. He takes the bullets out of the gun, puts it right back where it's supposed to be. They get to the business, and then afterwards they're talking, and she keeps reaching under the pillow, and he kind of like grabs her hand a couple of times, and then she says, like, she grabs the gun and she goes, you know, and I'm gonna kill you. Click. No bullets in the gun. So Eddie Murphy, bam, shoots her dead.
Yeah.
And then he leaves. You know,
and
I think part of the dialogue was like, so what, you were just gonna have sex with me and then kill me? That's about it. And then, okay, boom, dead.
And then it transitions to Eddie Murphy going to meet with Sugar Ray, and that's when he tells them about, like, oh, it was Small's brother chasing me because I thought I killed him. And then and then that's where he also tells her, I killed the girl. He was like, damn. He's like, he was thinking like inappropriately. It's like he was thinking like, wow, you really killed that P word?
Yeah.
And he was like, no, I literally shot her. He's like, oh,
damn.
Was it really bad P word?
No, god damn it. We're moving past it. We're moving past it. So he kills, and he of course finds out about it. So Sugar Ray is like, yo, we gotta hide, Because Calhoun doesn't know about it right now, but Calhoun's gonna know about it. He's gonna figure out that you killed his lady, and they do, and they send the cops to shut down the nightclub. They raid the nightclub, and they arrest everybody except for Jack Jenkins, the boxer, and Sugar Ray, the bar owner. But they arrest everybody. And the cop looks at the band and he goes, like, he whistles.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, band, let's play some traveling music. Everybody's going downtown on the A train. And the band leader's just like, you son of a bitch. Ba, 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 da, da. And, like, starts playing, just like, taking the A train. And they arrest everybody. Oh, and then
sorry, I felt like I was gonna sneeze.
What's it? Richard Pryor.
And they were, and the cop goes and he asks him like, "Oh, where's Quick?" They were, because everyone's looking for Quick right now. But he's like, "I don't know. I told him to lay off a few days off because I'm like, that guy was working hard, so take days off, try to cover for him basically because Quick is wanted by Calzone."
By Calzone or Calhoun, depending on what you want to say.
Yeah.
And oh my God, one of the best things they did with some of the character work of this movie, the actor who plays Jack Jenkins, the world champion boxer, has a severe stutter.
Oh yeah.
And they make that like, they really stretch off that joke in a lot of these scenes because the cop asks the boxer for an autograph. He goes, "Can I have an autograph? My kid just loves you." And the boxer, the place is being raided. The boxer just goes, and like they hold that out for like, honestly, a little bit too long of a joke.
Yeah, which
but
I do want to say.
It works because of how Richard Pryor's using his face to act.
Yeah.
Like, Richard Pryor's like, yeah?
Yeah.
And so
like,
the boxer was like, I don't do autographs.
Yeah. I will say, there are some jokes that, like, it's kind of like that, where I feel like they hold it for too long, and I felt like they could have, like, cut it off, just cut off, because we kind of get it. Some of them worked, but there are others that kind of felt like, hey, we get it. But I mean,
yeah, the guy's got a stutter. We get it.
Yeah.
But in some of the scene, it verges on uncomfortable, but I kind of I like it. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's like, in the scene, because the cop's got a gun. The cop's got other cops in the room, like, hauling all of the customers away. And the boxer's just like, I don't do autographs. And the cop goes, I think tonight you do, unless you want to go to jail with everybody else. And they go, okay. So he fills out the autograph and says, make it to my friend Phil. He goes, okay. He writes it, hands it back to him. And the cop goes, hey, Phil starts with a P, not an F. But whatever. I'll take it.
I'll take it anyway. And it just and then everything's like falling apart, and like when that cop goes back to Calzone, they ask him like, oh, how you do? He's like, oh, we do well. We temporarily close the nightclub. He's like, I want you to close it permanently, which they basically burned the entire nightclub that Sugar Ray, like even the candy shop. So,
oh yeah, it's all burned.
Yeah, and
that's actually kind of a really beautiful scene too, because they want you to close it permanently, and it cuts back to Sugar Ray, Richard Pryor, in the nightclub, and it's all burned down.
Oh yeah,
and like he's like just looking around, and the camera like pans around the entire nightclub, because that's what Sugar Ray like spent all of his time building, and it's gone.
Yeah. Spent years to build up that nightclub.
Oh yeah. So then he kind of like just heads out, and he goes to
Oh yeah, to
the police station to bail out everybody who was arrested. It was 125 people. And he goes, I'd like to arrest everybody who was brought in on that raid tonight.
And the cop's like, hold up, let me talk to some people. And then the cops were just telling him like, hey, he's like, it's like, who is he? He's like, oh, it's this guy. He's like, just tell him the actual amount, like how much is gonna be, and that's gonna probably scare him so much that he'll just walk out and cancel. And they're all like joking, like, yeah. And they tell him, well, excuse me, sir, it's like 125 people, so that's like beep boop beep beep boop beep beep boop beep boop.
He actually made those noises.
Yeah.
It was actually Michael Winslow from Police Academy. It's got beeps, sweeps, and creeps. You know. It was sorry. We apologize to Michael Winslow for doing your bit so terribly. We apologize, and we will never do it again. Today. We're probably gonna do it again later. Let's be honest with ourselves. But but he it's like $7,500, and he goes, okay, and he just like just flings down the money, and they're getting released, and there's like just a line of limos.
Yeah.
And Red Fox, I'm not gonna quote him directly, but he goes like, imagine, 125 black folk in limousines, and in every limousine there was champagne, and he's telling it to Eddie Murphy, and Eddie Murphy's just like, oh wow, and he goes, it was a beautiful sight to see, and the madam who's in charge of all the girls says, shut up, you old fool, you can't see shit, because he needs glasses and he refuses to wear them. He always refuses to wear his glasses. And after that, fellas, maybe you can help me out with some of the details of the story. Don't they go to Red Fox's house? Like they leave the police station, they go to Red Fox's house after they've rescued everybody, and like they're hungry, and and Vera the madam is like, well, I'm hungry, I want to cook something.
And then the old man's like, oh, make us some hash and eggs.
Hash and eggs.
Hash and eggs.
Yeah.
And she's like, where's the hash again? He thought like, it's up there in the middle counter. Like, that's tuna, you idiot. He's
Put on your glasses, you can't see nothing.
And he's all like,
goes, well, make us a tuna sandwich.
And she's like, kiss my goddamn ass.
Kiss my entire ass.
Yes.
Kiss my entire ass.
And then
she's beautiful, by the way, too.
Oh, yeah.
This is like, she dresses so well, but she's lost her pinky toe.
Yeah. But
she walked with the cane.
The little thing that I did, like, I don't know if it's a small little thing they added where the old man's like, stupid bitch, and in the background you hear the parrot like, stupid bitch.
Yeah. Stupid bitch. Stupid bitch. Yeah, that's those scenes are really good. And then Richard Pryor, Red Fox, and Eddie Murphy have another conversation with each other, and you hear from the kitchen, how come you put back this orange juice in the refrigerator with just a swallow left? My mouth was getting ready for some orange juice and there ain't nothing but a swallow. And he goes, oh, shut up, woman. Like, then Richard Pryor goes, did you ever apologize to her for blowing off her pinky toe? And Eddie Murphy's like, she was going to kill me. I thought that was all under the bridge. But you never apologized. So he goes in to apologize. And now this is the woman who beat his ass, but he blow off her pinky toe. So he's like, well, I never really apologized, and I'm not really good at apologies, but I love you. and I'm sorry. And she goes, oh, shut up and go out there and take these sandwiches to them. And he exits the room, and she's like, I love that boy. Like it was just a good scene. It was heartwarming.
It was like the rise up point, like, when everything got burned down and they don't got nothing left, I guess.
Yeah. This is the counter. This is like, hey, things are gonna get a little better. All right. And now it gets to like, if this is The Godfather, like if this movie was The Godfather, this is where the point of the movie where mob bosses start getting popped in the head with guns, okay? Because it's pretty, it escalates nice and quickly after this.
Yeah.
Like the way they're gonna steal the money is from Calhoun is they've got one of the madam's girls to get the guy who transports the money into loving her.
Mm-hmm.
And he falls deep in love.
Oh, yeah.
He has a wife and a kid. He calls them up in a scene as just like, Shirley, yeah, okay, put your mommy on the phone, hun. Okay. Alice, yeah, I ain't never coming home no more. See you around. Click. That's it. And
Like he's so determined to be with this woman.
Oh yeah, he just straight up loves her, and she tells him like the woman that's working for Quick and Richard Pryor, she tells the guy who's going to transport the money like, I run some numbers for some people, and I got to be there I get off of work at 9:30, but you're not going to be done till 10 o'clock, and I can't stay out in the cold for 30 minutes. That's half an hour. That's unsafe. And he goes, oh, I'll just pick you up on the way to the thing I'm going to do, which is get the money and pick her up and then take it to Calhoun.
Mm-hmm.
They stage Eddie Murphy and Richard Pryor in fake cop outfits. They get Jimmy, who runs this newsstand. He also has the line for the traffic light, and he changes it from green to red. So boom, they hit the car with the money with another car to stage a wreck. The cops show up. It's Richard Pryor and Eddie Murphy. They try to steal the money.
Oh yeah.
2 real cops show up, and they're on the payroll of Calhoun. And so they take over, and they take the money. And then they say to the guy who's taking the money, do you know who you're with? No. That's Lady Heroin.
Oh, yeah.
She's the biggest heroin dealer in the city. You've got 40 pounds of smack in your trunk. And he goes, I didn't know about that. I thought it was numbers. Well, cut to them, Richard Pryor and Eddie Murphy being followed by the crooked cop.
Oh,
who
yeah.
was following the money. So he thinks it's fine because his boys took the money. So he's like, hey, the cops have the money. They work for me. I work for Calhoun. The money gets back to Calhoun. We're in the clear. He follows Richard Pryor and Eddie Murphy to an old abandoned bank that shut down.
Yeah.
And they break in. And he's got a gun drawn on him. And he goes, why'd y'all break into this bank? And they go, well, we're not withdrawing from this bank. We're making a deposit. And he goes, what do you mean by that? And they say, drop the gun. And behind him are 4 of the guys who work at the club.
Yeah.
And they've all got shotguns and they're pointed at the cop. They tie his ass up. They throw him in the vault of this abandoned bank. And he says, there's not a lot of air in here. And they go, yeah, not a lot of air. If I were you, I would take shallow breaths, very shallow. Because if you go, you're going to die. He goes, oh, how much air is in this? And they go, Jimmy, how much air is in this? You got about 33, 34 hours. Give or take.
It was like 2 or 3 hours, give or take, something like that. Oh, there you go.
And he goes, there you go. Short, shallow breaths.
Yeah.
And then they close the door. They lock his ass in. And the cop just is looking around, and he just goes.
Yeah, I will say that was the only joke that I felt like they could have okay, we get it, you could have done it for a good couple of seconds, but I felt like it went too long. I'm like, just cut it, everybody go to the other part. And then
I liked it. I thought that was a good scene. The climax of everything.
Oh yeah.
The guy who's running the money for Calhoun has to go to Calhoun and say, I don't have your money. And Calhoun, of course, is perfectly fine with this. No, he's actually pissed, and he goes, "Where's my money? That was $500,000. Where's my money?" Well, it's okay. The cops took it, but Lady Heroin was in the car, and he like dumps a bag of packets of heroin,
And then
and
it
he
turns
goes,
out
"Heroin," and he he goes, and Calhoun licks it, and he like opens a package and licks it.
it's like,
It's
this
not
is
heroin.
sugar.
This is Sugar Ray, and he knows. So he takes all of the guys over to Sugar Ray's house, and they storm in.
Oh
And
yeah,
they're looking around, and they see the cop's badge and everything on the couch,
yeah.
and they're just like looking. And Calhoun goes, "Oh, he's lighting a cigar." He goes, "Let me think. Don't touch nothing. This is a setup. This is a setup." And one of his guys goes, "Let's get the fuck out of here." And he opens a door, and Calhoun just goes, "Johnny, no!" And explosion. They rigged the whole house to blow up.
Sugar Ray's house blew the fuck up.
Yeah, it's gone.
And
All
then-
of these guys dead.
And then after that, it just cuts to like Sugar Ray and Eddie Murphy and Quick and everyone like just getting in the car, getting ready to leave. And then you find out that the two crooked cops that were on Calzone's payroll were actually working with Sugar Ray.
Yeah, for a probable sizable amount of money.
Yeah.
And they all leave, and they go, "Man, we're gonna go somewhere else." But there's no town like New York. I love Harlem. But we'll be somewhere else. And then, scene over.
Movie ends.
Yeah.
It was just like, wow. But Will, your overall final thoughts and rating of Harlem Nights?
Okay, I like Harlem Nights. All right, I think it's a fun movie. Is it the greatest movie that's ever been made? Oh God, no, it isn't. But I like it. I would give Harlem Nights a 3.5 stars.
Nice.
I've watched it before. I will watch it again because some of these scenes, like the costuming's great, the dialogue in a lot of scenes is great, the jokes in a lot of scenes are great, and then the opposite is true for a lot of scenes. There's just, it's got highs, it's got lows, but it's a star-studded cast. Richard Pryor, Red Fox, Eddie Murphy. That's 3 generations of amazing black comedians.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I'm almost certain that Red Fox dies
He
not
died
that long.
2 years later.
Yeah.
He died in 1991.
Oh damn.
Yeah. And then Richard Pryor died in the 2000s?
I think.
I don't remember. But it's just, and it's got other really good actors in it. But
He died
it's
in
so
2005.
funny. In 2005, yeah. So
Yeah.
it's just a really good movie. For that reason alone. So I give it 3.5 stars. I really like it.
Nice. Rabbit.
Would watch again.
I'll be honest. Like I did like this movie. Like I didn't really catch on until really the end. Like it didn't grab my attention until really the end of the movie. But no, like even though I didn't really have much to say for it,
Yeah.
I would say like no, this is something that I would watch again. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't the greatest. But I'd watch this, but it did have that kind of charm. It's like, yeah, no, I could watch this movie again. I did like the costuming. I liked that it focused on something that it focused on on Black culture during the 1930s in New York, which is not really something that's really touched upon all that much. And yeah, no, I'd probably give it, maybe I wouldn't say a 3.5. I'd give it a 3 out of 5 stars. And yeah, that's my rating for it. So
Yeah. I can see on both parts because I mean, it was a bit slow, like beginning it, but it did quickly like get on the tracks and it started because I enjoyed the film overall. I felt like it had like Eddie Murphy and this whole big cast of comedians. It really did like it did like a good. They did a good job themselves, just playing the roles they were playing, and I had a really good time with it. It's not the best, like, it's not the best comedy film that's out there, or like the best, like one of Eddie Murphy's best, because he's done better film, but it was, I didn't hate the movie. It was, there were some jokes that I felt like could have quickly, because we get the joke, they could have just finished it on time, but yeah. it still had a nice charm. It was still an enjoyable movie overall that I saw. There were some things I didn't like with it, mainly just on like certain comedic timing, but it wasn't something that it's not the worst movie we saw today, because we'll get to one of those, but overall I would also give it a 3 stars. It's a very solid comedy movie that I believe you can recommend it to anyone and they would enjoy themselves too, because it's a good time to have. It's a really good time to watch. So like if you want to watch something on Thanksgiving and you got Amazon Prime, go watch some Harlem Nights. I don't think you would regret it. It's a really good time, people. But that was Harlem Nights.
That's Harlem Nights. And yeah, I agree. It's not the best movie ever made. It's not Eddie Murphy's best movie. Mm-hmm. It's not Richard Pryor's best movie. But it's good. I mean, you know, it's something you could come back to.
Hmm.
So
yeah.
So now for
this is what I've been waiting for.
Now for our second movie, and I'm happy we did it in this order, okay? Because with Harlem Nights, there's like a story, you know, there's a lot of good things.
Yeah, you have like a good time, and there you may have like some issues with Harlem Nights, but you're like, yeah, it's good. Like it has some good elements in it.
Yeah,
and then comes to a movie that we all saw. That's no, this isn't The Thing, not John Carpenter's The Thing. It's the movie The Stuff, which is directed by Larry Cohen. Do you know who Larry Cohen is, ladies and gentlemen? He made a movie called God Told Me To, It's Alive, The Ambulance, and Cellular. He's made a lot of other movies too. He's made a movie called Maniac Cop. You guys know that one?
I have no idea what that is.
Movies that he's done.
He's made Maniac Cop 2 and Maniac Cop 3, Badge of Silence.
This is not enough. It's over.
He's also made TV shows.
He's helped write the story for the 1993 version of Body Snatchers.
Okay.
Yeah.
He was apparently he acted in Spies Like Us.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But you know,
are you okay?
This movie.
This is the movie. Look, I saw Harlem Nights and I saw the stuff like before we started the show because I really wanted to have it real fresh in my mind. And Harlem Nights, I watched it first, so I was like, okay, so there wasn't really that much like remembered about it, but I still enjoyed it. The stuff is still kind of in my brain, not for the good reasons, because I laughed at it. Not where it wanted me to laugh, but
let's just say how the movie starts.
Yeah,
it just starts.
Yeah,
it starts so suddenly.
Yeah,
so sudden. It's.
I was this close to texting you guys because when it started, I'm like, wait, it just started. I'm like, am I skipping something? I checked. I'm like, no one watched it before me. I was about to ask you guys. I'm like, hey, did what part of the movie start, or did it start abruptly? But then, like, it starts with the kid waking up, and he's like in the sweats or something. He's like, ugh. He's like,
no. That's not how it starts.
Oh wait,
buddy.
No.
It starts with an old man.
Oh yeah, no, yes, I remember. Okay, yeah. Yes,
like,
my bad.
It starts suddenly. So
old man.
I'm watching it right now again.
in the snow.
It's because okay, now no, because it feels like a certain piece of the movie was like the beginning of it was lost. Like, what do we do? I'm like, just cut it, put it like that, put it in the movie. A lot of it felt like that.
There's no intro music. There's no intro music at all.
Yeah.
Find some random goopy shit. White, looks
specifically,
like fluff.
Specifically white, and guys, it's in the snow. The movie sets place in the snow, and some weird goopy thing is popping up, and it looks very sticky and gooey.
You would think on your first instance, like you see this, like why the fuck would you pick it up? And then he immediately picks it up, puts it in his mouth. And it's like, oh my god, this tastes so great. Why the fuck would you immediately put it in your mouth?
It's like this. Okay, if you were to chat, guys, if you were to see, you were working. I don't know where the hell they were working, but it was snowing, and then you see this weird goop move. Would you go at it and be like, hey guys, should we call the cops and do that? Or would you be like, dip both your fingers in and go, delicious. And you're like, hey, try this thing out, dude. Because I would do the first one, not eat it. Because you're like, hey, what do you call it? Like, hey, I don't want to touch that. I'm like, what if it's, the S word? It's bodily. What if it's bodily fluids? What if it's...
Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna edit out this. We're just gonna edit it out.
I didn't say anything. It's. I was just saying.
Anyway,
I was just saying, like, what if it's the disgusting stuff?
What if it's paint? Yeah, what if it's just paint bubbling out of the ground?
I didn't even say the word. I just said.
That's the time we live in, Edgar. We're gonna have to edit. We're gonna have to edit things out.
I mean, it just does.
We can't. So yeah, no. What it looks like is
it looks like
there's
marshmallow
a part.
fluff.
It looks like marshmallow fluff, but not when it's on the ground.
Yeah.
When it's on the ground.
When it's on the ground, it looks like shaving cream.
No, when it's on the ground, it looks like if y'all have ever been to they're not tar pits, but it's another dinosaur state park where the ground is just like clay and it's bubbling out. Like it bubbles. It looks like bubbling clay. Like I guess that's what it is. I don't know.
It looks like. Have you ever when you were in elementary?
Nasty.
Have you ever guys in elementary that you made like this science experiment that like you made like with like a lot of stuff and it looked like that like goo that you would play with like throw in the wall or it would make that fart noise?
Yeah. No, I went to a Texas public school. We didn't have fun.
Oh, but that's basically what it kind of looked like to me. But like, if you were like to put in like in a hot stove and it started bubbling.
And honestly,
and by the way,
it just looked like shaving cream.
By the way, the intro, the movie starts. It takes 11 seconds for the filmmaker, like the logo. The logo like comes out, widens out, spins around, and it's the logo. Half a second later, the man's walking in snow. There's no music. There's no like rolling credits in the beginning.
Yeah.
It's just guy in snow, looks down.
Yeah.
What the hell's this? Takes a big scoop of it, looks at it, I think smells it for half a second, and then just eats it. Who the fuck does that? No one does this. Okay, then his buddy comes up and he's like, hey, Hank, what are you doing? Are you eating snow? And the guy who just ate goop from the ground's like, hell no, I would never eat snow. What do you take me for, an idiot? Drive in. I'm eating the stuff. And like the guy takes it off of this man's fingers and is just like, that's delicious. We could sell this. Cut to a literal commercial.
God damn it.
No, I'm sorry. I'm jumping the gun. You do cut to the kid who is in his bed
show the commercial
and
yet.
gets up.
And the kid, no, they don't even show the title of the movie yet. It wasn't until they go to the kid and the kid's like, mosquitoes. Then he closes the windows. He goes down the stairs, and that's him going down the stairs. That's when they fucking start showing the credits. It's like the intro credits, and it's like, and I'm like, what? I'm like, what's going? What? I'm like, shouldn't you be showing the first? But at first I'm like, okay, that's probably their direction, maybe. And then
the kid's walking downstairs and is in the kitchen for a long time because they're showing credits. They're using this kid as B-roll, first of all. And he opens the refrigerator and he sees the stuff move, and he's like, and he, then his asshole of a dad shows up and just yells at him. What are you doing? I thought you were a burglar. I was hungry. No, you're not. Get up to your room.
And he's
God damn.
And the dad eats the stuff. It's like,
the dad eats the stuff. My only note, because I didn't take many notes for this fucking movie. My only note was this kid's dad's a dick. And the stuff is alive apparently, and
at first I was
in the morning when he wakes up and he goes downstairs. The whole family is around the kitchen table.
Yeah.
And the mom's like, I like this stuff. It's low calorie. And I'm like, what? So not only is it alive, it's low calorie? And the kid freaks out because he's like, I saw it move. And that's not how he sounds. I made him sound like he was vaguely Southern. I saw it move. Mama, Daddy, I saw that move, and I swear it's possessed by the devil.
Fucking throws it to the wall, and it's like,
yeah.
And then no, you're gonna make it stain. And then the mom is like, look, it doesn't even stain. Looks at camera, kinda. And just, it's like it's an ad for it.
And then for a while, and then for the while, it pans to a boat where these guys, and they hire this FBI or this agent guy to figure out what's going on with the stuff.
Yeah, because they're selling the stuff as it's sweet, it's delicious, it's low calorie, and it is fucking over the food market.
The FBI agent, or in other words, totally not a copy of Jimmy Carter. He sounds like Jimmy Carter. The main guy, Bo.
Yeah.
Mo, his name's Mo, as in I want Mo money.
He's like, no, it's whoa! Green Beret Wolf accepted the hamburger.
Green Beret Wolf. Hey!
Thank you for accepting the burger. I'm sorry you came at a time. We guarantee your burger is 100% know the stuff. There's no the stuff in it at all whatsoever.
I can guarantee. Mm-hmm. Let me just put on my Justin Wilson voice. Well, I can guarantee that there is no stuff in this here burger. I guarantee. But there's a whole bunch of red pepper. All right. Anyway, thank you. That's an insider.
But again, thank you, Green Beret Wolf, for accepting the hamburger and
Beret.
following us. Beret. Oh, it's Beret. My bad. Yes, Bolin's. Unless you want a burger with bones or no bones, whatever, because the burger is yours. It's all yours.
Do you want a burger with the bone? Because I can put the bones in the burger. I'm just gonna have to refry it up, and it'll take me about 3 minutes. I'll just put all of the ground beef bones right back in. Because here at the Grand Slam, we grind the hamburger with the bones, and we sift it out later. We just sift it out. Bones will sink, but burger meat will float. It's easy.
Anyway, they hire this guy, and the guy is he's all my name's.
We're back to the movie now. By the way, we're going back to the movie.
His name is. They name him Mo because he's like, my name's Mo because whenever they get me, all I want is Mo. And that's the whole thing.
And
I'm
like,
totally not Jimmy Carter.
I'm totally not Jimmy Carter. Just to clarify, all of the guys. Oh yeah. By the way, everybody, Green Beret's Jesus from the Discord. All of the guys on the boat, all of them, are like corporate, like food producers. They like they're the ice cream companies and cookie and cake companies.
Yeah.
And they're all being ruined by the stuff. And so they want to engage in corporate espionage and sabotage. But if they can't, what they really want is espionage because they want to make the stuff. They want to get in on the action, but they also want to ruin the original company. So they hire Mo, who takes their money and then fucks off, right? To go find out about the stuff. And like, fun, corporate espionage, cool. But as he's leaving, who is it? It's a guy from the FBI or the CIA or something.
He used to work for the FBI.
Yeah.
No, I know Mo used to work for the FBI, but there's another guy.
Yeah, he also used to work for the FBI, and then Mo goes up to him and he's like, also one thing, because he was being rude to Mo, and then he just punches him and then he walks away.
Yeah, he says, if you ever talk to the FBI again, tell him I said this, and then wham, just lays this bastard out. And then it cuts to like
the kid in the store.
At the store,
and you're like,
he's just like he's walking down an aisle, and this young kid who's probably like what 4 or 5,
and he's eating like the stuff like on the because he's in the cart.
He's in a cart. Yeah, so maybe he's like 3 or 4.
No, because he's already eating it because he has some of the stuff on his mouth. And he's like eating it.
And he like knocks it out of his hand, and the kid starts crying, and the mom goes to the kid who was eating the stuff, and so then
she grabs the kid and she's like, "What the hell are you doing? Why'd you do that to my son?" And then he like runs away, and then he goes, and then he's like throwing everything of the stuff. Like he goes to the market where like the yogurt section is, throws all of it out. And then and everyone's trying to grab him, but he escapes. And then he gets like a bat or something and starts hitting and throwing all like the small containers of the stuff. And then before they capture him, he breaks one of the freezers, one of those glass freezers, breaks it and tries to take it out before they tackle him to the ground.
Yeah, there were dozens of people between him and causing the commotion he caused.
Yeah.
There were no fucks given. People were like, oh, that's really unfortunate, but unfortunately I can't stop it, so I'm just gonna grab my eggs.
It's just it's like, oh, that's really unfortunate. Oh my god, a sale on Cheerios, my god.
and then it cuts from the kid, and then we just focus on the Asian guy. So
how have I just now discovered this fabulous place called the grocery store?
There's food everywhere, and it's on sale, and also there's stuff for miles, but I'm gonna knock it onto the floor.
Oh my god, there's an aisle full of soup. Everybody, there's an aisle full of soup.
Would you like a little soup?
But, oh my!
Is that Hubie? Is Hubie working in the same grocery store that the stuff was made
She's in the same universe
if you want a
as
little
the
stuff, if you want a little stuff, but I prefer the soup.
He's originally, and then he moved up, and then his family moved up to Selma. Or to Salem.
Yeah. But man, and then like for a good while, like for a good long while, like we're focused on the former FBI agent guy, and you never see the kid for a good long while. Like I was like, for a second I'm like, oh, is this plot over? I'm like, are we just
oh no, did they beat the kid to death right there in the grocery store? Because it's not referenced. It just cuts to Mo, the FBI dude, and he's doing shit. He's on an adventure. He talks to a dog. It's a whole thing. We'll talk more in detail about it.
Yeah.
But like this kid's just like boom, destroying shit. No more kid.
It's like the kid's never seen.
Pretty late in the movie, honestly.
And so, like, when we go to the Asian guy, the former FBI agent guy, he goes to this this, I guess he was like the former like advertiser for the stuff. No, wait, before he does that, he goes to
FDA.
Yeah.
That the guy you're thinking of was FDA. Yeah, not FBI.
Okay.
He was in the FDA. He's part of the team that like made the stuff legal to have.
Yeah. But he also goes to recruit this woman who used to advertise this. He goes to this woman who still at that time would advertise the stuff. Like, she was the one who would organize the commercials and all the billboards and everything. And he asked her like, "Oh, how would you like to recruit with me and then like join me with this stuff?" And then that's later on. That's when he goes to the guy with the dog. That the movie was trying to make you think, oh, the dog is very suspicious, but the entire way through, the dog was just being adorable. The dog was just pure adorable.
There's like 2 lines in it. There's how the guy who, by the way, the guy is played by Danny Aiello, who is also the cop in Harlem Nights. This has nothing to do with us doing like a double Danny Aiello thing. He just happens to be in both. Yeah. So Danny Aiello, who's in a suit, and he's former FDA guy. He was an administrator. He's got this dog. It's a Doberman, I think, and it's a big dog. And Mo asks, "How old's that dog?" And he goes, "Oh, just a year." And Mo says, "That's a big dog for a year old." And the dog's huge. And the owner like keeps looking at the dog. He keeps looking at the dog. And like he's afraid of the dog. And he goes, "Yeah, I eat the stuff all the time. And the dog eats the stuff too." And like the dog's been eating the stuff, which is why it's so big. Because like what we're gonna find out later in the movie, that we don't know about the dog yet, the stuff, when you eat it, takes you over.
The stuff basic as the movie goes, the stuff, like, you eat the stuff, and basically the stuff eats you from the inside out, so it basically uses your skin.
Hollow.
The
stuff hollows you out, and it basically takes over your body.
Yeah. But like the dog, like after Mo leaves with like some paperwork and like finds out where he can find more people, the dog like growls, and then
added growl noise effect in the movie. Because the dog wasn't growling, he was just being a cute pupper. He was just being a cute little pupper.
And then like it cuts to him like, didn't he try to call somebody?
Oh yeah, he was trying to call someone. He's like, "Help, help!"
Well, no, because what happens is he goes, "Well, let's get you something to eat," and the dog eats like a whole shit ton of the stuff. The stuff comes in little like pint containers, and like it eats more, and then apparently they run out. And the guy who used to work for the FDA is like, "It's okay, Ben." Ben's the dog. "Ben, I'll get you more." And the dog just like growls, and then like the guy tries to call for help, and the dog rips the cord out of the wall, and I assume eats the owner.
Yeah, because it like you could tell. Because
then the stuff comes out of his mouth, and then it cuts back to a normal looking dog.
Yeah, and then it goes back to the puppet dog, and then you see the stuff come out of his mouth. And I just laughed at that part, because for the whole time they try to make the dog look so intimidating and scary, like if it's trying to eat or kill the guy. But the dog, whenever the dog was on screen trying to look like he was barking or going after the dog, all he could do, he was just trying to lick the dude's face.
Oh,
and I was like, this dog just wants to play. He's just like, "Oh, what's going on?" And he's like, "Whoa!" But the movie's trying to like.
I'll be right back. I need to go to the bathroom, so I'll be right back.
Right.
Oh god.
So
hey, Edgar, this is where you ought to put a little bit of music in the YouTube video that just says stalling music. and it's like, you know, ba ba da ba, whatever stalling music you can find until Robin gets back.
Stalling music, like elevator
Not
music.
Yeah, like elevator music, and like, you know, just because we're stalling. The chat, we are blatantly stalling right now, and you can just put it over this conversation because this conversation has nothing to do with the movie. We're not talking about the movie. We're talking about stalling. We are literally discussing stalling, which is different than discussing Stalin, which would be a conversation about former dictator of the USSR. Joseph Stalin, because if we wanted to have a conversation about Joseph Stalin, we would have to watch The Death of Stalin, which is a movie that I like a lot, that I think we actually should.
I've never seen the movie, but I've always heard good things about it.
It's a good one. It's very funny. It's got a lot of funny parts in it. It's on Netflix. In fact, I think we should do that sometime.
True.
Maybe not next month, but like, who knows what the new year will have.
Yeah, that's true.
It was a movie that was recommended in our Discord. Because if you go to our Discord, you can go to movie suggestions and you can suggest a movie, and we will very much try to get to it. Particularly as this new year rolls around. Because you know what they say: new year, new me.
Oh yeah.
So new podcast. It's going to be very, very similar to the old podcast. It's just going to be maybe we do a couple of different things. You know, maybe I take up jazzercise.
Yeah. Who knows?
I don't know. I could.
Oh yeah.
I could take up jazzercise.
And while we're stalling, I will advertise them like. I want to again thank all the followers that just started following and accepted the burger here at the Grand Slam on our Twitch, and we have now 33 followers on Twitch. Really
nice.
Really damn close to the 50 mark. Almost there, guys. We're basically close to 40 and almost there. And also, I do want to give a huge thank you to the people who are subscribing to the channel on YouTube, which I just recently saw that we hit. Where is it at? Hold up. Where is it at? Right over here. And we have 44. We have 44 damn subscribers on the Grand Slam YouTube channel, which I want to thank you all for. And if you guys haven't followed it, go follow it right now. Will just put the link here. He just added a link to the chat to the YouTube channel, and there is a previous link up there that shows the Discord that you could join. And of course, the Discord, where Will did just say, there is a place where you could recommend us movies that we can watch for future things. And we're saving those for next year because we do want to get to those and watch those for the next year, the new year, because new year, new Grand Slam. And of course, we got a lot of stuff planned for the Christmas holidays. Some things we're trying to get through. We're trying to see what we can work with it because, end semester, I'll be back home. All that jazz, but and,
including by the way, movie nights in the Discord. We have movie nights. We had one last Friday. It was right Saturday.
Last Saturday.
Last Saturday, and it was fun. We had a good time. We're probably gonna have one in December. Who knows? Yeah, it'll be probably holiday themed. But who knows what'll happen.
Yeah.
But we also have dank memes. One of the things to come to our Discord for, dank memes.
Of course.
And by the way, everybody, if you just joined us, because I saw our counter grew by 2 people, so welcome. We are stalling for a brief moment while Robin, the third person on the podcast, gets back from the bathroom.
Oh, yeah.
So this is us stalling.
Just stalling a bit.
We're just stalling a little bit.
I know
a little bit of stalling.
All right.
Yeah.
He's back.
He's
Thank
back.
God.
Yep.
We were running out of things to stall on, but I have one thing to say before we go back to talking about the stuff. Thank you so much. Okay, thank you so much, Juju B Juice.
We love you, Juju. We love you, Juju.
For following us on the YouTubes.
Yeah.
But why do we need 50 people to follow us on Twitch? Great question, chat. I'll tell you. Because at 50 people, we will have achieved all of the requirements to get affiliate for Twitch. That means we get that means we can receive bits. That means we can receive subscription, or what are they called? Yeah, subscribe. Y'all can subscribe to us. We can start making a little bit of cash to, because some of the things, we've had to buy things for this. This has cost us money. Yeah. It's a good time, and we're happy to do it. We have fun with y'all, but this has cost us a little money, and we'd like to always make it better. But at 50 followers, when we get affiliate, I will buy Minecraft. I've never played Minecraft. I don't know much about Minecraft. I've seen a couple of YouTube videos of Minecraft. I don't really know. So, I don't really know what Minecraft is. And apparently the guys are going to they play it. They're going to make me play it on hardcore mode, which again, I don't know what that means. I don't know what regular mode is. I don't know what the difficulty spectrum is here. Oh, yeah. And you're going to get to see some videos of me, maybe live, maybe just on the YouTube, but you're gonna see me go through Minecraft and somehow probably make a fool out of myself if we're gonna be honest, because I don't know how to do anything. I know. Yeah, I know. I know. Judy. See, Juju. See, yeah, I know. That's what people say, but I just never played it, so I don't know. Yeah. See, and I'm gonna buy it when we get affiliate, and I'm gonna do it. And I'm not lying. I've never played it. I've just never done it. Yeah. I think I get the basic concept of what you do. You dig stuff and you build stuff. Okay, cool. But I don't know what. Yeah, I'm gonna die. Yeah. That's I'm getting to understand that. I also understand that there's something about there's fish. Yeah, the Java version. I'm gonna get the Java version because that's I think what the boys have. So so that's what I'm gonna do. But I don't get to do that. If it's in hard and you never played Shake My Head, you're gonna do this to him. Yeah, yeah. But again, I don't really know what that means. So, just programming language, not the island. Yes, Stefan, we were quite aware. But hey, Edgar, now that we're done stalling, because Robin's back, this would probably be the time to end the music, since it appears that we've reached the correct floor. Yeah, we've had music playing this whole time. I found it in the budget that we could get we could get elevator music.
Yeah, because surprisingly, because elevator music surprisingly, it's not that expensive, Yeah. And sure, I have music playing right here right now with me that's recorded with this, but I'm just gonna overlay it with it, so we can make it sound like elevator music, because we're just stalling in this section. We were just stalling while you were waiting.
Yeah. Yeah, we were just stalling. We haven't talked about the movie at all. We were doing plugs. We were talking about bullshit. Yeah. So, there was a dog. We're going back to the movie. There was a dog. And the dog was being a dog. And so the Mo, the former FBI agent, leaves. Yeah. The dog clearly kills the owner. Let's not stress this point lightly. He killed the owner. The man's dead. Yeah. And then, I'm going to be honest, I don't really recall all that much. He goes, the guy, Mo goes to this tiny town where nobody's there
this
anymore.
This whole abandoned town to get gas.
He then meets somebody named Chocolate Chip something.
Yeah, Chocolate Chip Charlie, whose hands are registered lethal weapons.
God damn it.
And then... And with this part is where they're like, huh, what's going on? He's asking questions because they're like, oh, where's the mail act? Because he went to that place because that's where the mail for the company of the stuff goes to. So, but then they found out that the mail actually goes there, but it's then rerouted to go somewhere else when it gets there, and they found that out. But as they were finding it out, the guy who was putting the gas on the car, he's like, oh, he puts the gas in the guy's car, and then Mo walks around, he gets attacked by Chocolate Chip Charlie. And just when that was about to happen, you see the guy who's putting the gas in the car, he just slowly like limps and runs to go into the forest, and you never see that guy ever again.
There's like no reason for him to run in there because like they don't follow him.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's like, what is he gonna? For a second, I'm like, what is he gonna do? Is he getting a trap or something? And nope, you just never see him again. He's just gone.
That's it. He's gone. He's just gone, and
then he becomes friends, quote unquote, with Chocolate Chip Charlie, and they're talking to the guy who runs the mail post there, and where he's the one who reroutes the stuff. He's like, I'm gonna be right back. I gotta go. He's got to go to the bathroom or something like that. He was saying, but they saw that he was eating the stuff. And just when he goes in the stuff, they're like, what's going on? They're being suspicious because like, oh, everyone's disappearing or something. And then like it pans to the guy's body, to that guy's body that just went. You see the stuff. It looks like a giant pile of Laffy Taffy coming out. It's like, bleh. And like it comes out of his body and hollows the guy, and then it just hides and gets out and goes into the forest.
And then they freak out, and then they're like, instead of leaving through the front door, they just leave through the window and stare. And they go to a diner where they start asking about they start talking about what they're going to do.
Oh yeah.
And so one of them said like, does anybody here have the stuff? And nobody said like, oh man, I wish we did. I try to put it in order, but we don't have it.
Mm-hmm. They're like, we're getting a shipment soon, but we haven't gotten anything yet. I'm like,
I don't remember what they were talking about in there. I think they were saying like they need to infiltrate someplace.
Yeah, they were talking about that, and that's where he tells Chocolate Chip Cherry's like, we gotta part ways, man. And they're like, oh, why don't I just join you and help you out? I was like, no, we gotta part ways, man. Even though there was no reason they could have part ways. Like, I need you to go to Washington. He told him, I need you to go to Washington, D.C. because I know you're the man who could do this or whatever. And
I was like, him. Like,
I was like, wait, why are you making him go? Why don't you guys go together? And then after that, he leaves, and then like and then you follow the dining lady, the waitress, and she goes to the freezer, and the freezer is filled to the brim with cartons of the stuff. And it looks like she was like the prey to it or some shit.
I think it's supposed to show like how fast it's growing.
Yeah.
And how it's taking over people. But like then it cuts to 4 people, I think it's the 4 people, trying to break into someplace. I don't remember. I really don't remember what happens after that because it's just all
it was him and the girl. Because I remember he brought because that girl that he hired to be with her, they're talking about like, oh, what are we gonna do? How are we gonna get like? They were trying to get like invitations so they could go get a tour at the company of the stuff. Yeah, and as he was doing that, they read the newspaper, and the newspaper was saying like, oh hey, breaking news, this kid got in trouble and he was breaking the entire store. And it's like, oh, now you're gonna bring the kid back up after like I don't know how long we were waiting.
All right, so we're going there, we're gonna be these 2 complete strangers gonna go find this kid.
Yeah, so the kid's like, I want to find this kid, and I'm like, well,
kid's like grounded, playing with a ball. He then like, I'm trying to remember, like I think like at this point like the family members are completely taken over by the stuff.
Oh yeah, because stuff has gotten them. They are stuffies or whatever they call themselves.
Yeah, and they're like, oh, you see the parents like eating, and they're like, and he's like getting mad at his parents, like, oh, you're eating that for dinner? It's like, yes, son, that's all we need to do. And the mom's like, I lost 15 pounds just being on the stuff diet.
Yeah, because you got no more organs, Marjorie. The stuff has eaten you from the inside out. But yeah,
I'm not even gonna call you mom anymore. You're Marjorie now.
Yeah, Marjorie. That's not even your birth name. It's just what I'm gonna fucking call you.
God damn it. And then like he tried to convince them, like saying like, oh yeah, I am all this stuff. When you locked me in that room with the stuff to eat. Like even though he threw it down the toilet and flushed it, he started eating.
And then he got the cup, emptied the cup, and then he replaced it with shaving cream.
Yeah, with Barbasol shaving cream. He was eating shaving cream.
And I was like, "Kid," and he was actually eating in front. I'm like, dude, you're kidding. Like, why?
You're gonna get really sick, dude. What the fuck?
And then he runs out and like he's like, yeah, it's really good. I really like it now. And then he drops it there and he runs, and his dad just goes, what?
Because he said like, oh man, I don't even know if I could eat anymore. I can't. It's just stuffing me up. And it's like, you can never get stuffed on this stuff.
Yeah, you can never be stuffed on this stuff.
Yeah.
And, like,
And the dad like plunges 2 fingers into the cup, and it's like,
It's
he's
like-
just like, blah.
Oh,
Like,
It's like
okay.
because the kid runs off and he goes out, and then after
Then the 2 people show up. Mo
Yeah.
shows up with the chick. And
But
then
I
they
do remember,
fix it.
but he doesn't go with the chick. He doesn't go with the chick first. It was before it was him and the girl, and they were trying to run away from some guys because they found out that they were no, okay, yes, oh my god, I can't believe I forgot this part. Okay, so we're backtracking a bit before they meet the kid and all that. So it was the dude and the girl. No, it was the guy. Oh my god, I'm like this movie.
I don't know what you're talking about.
So we're back. No, we're back to the post office thing where they saw the post guy dead or hollowed out.
Okay.
And there's a scene where it was because they jumped out the window. They got out the window, and it's him and Chocolate Chip Charlie, and they're walking, and I don't know why it was edited like this, but they look, and then you see like this bright light, and it's like these 4 like pretty chubby like older guys, and they're slowly like walking or like speed walking to them. And they're like, duh, 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 duh. And like, oh shit! And they see a boat like conveniently right there in the water. I don't know how. And they're going, and that's where they kind of notice, and they find out that like the stuff is like it's inside them. It hollows him out because he hits one of the guy, hits him in the neck, and like his body, instead of blood coming out, it's like the stuff.
He turns into the androids in the Alien franchise.
Yeah.
Where it's just white blood coming out.
And then he punches one of the dudes in like the face, in the mouth here, and it just cracks his mouth, and then like you just see stuff in like the inside.
God.
And then he just falls in.
So then the kid escapes. Now we're going fast forward.
Yeah, fast forwarding.
Gets into the car with Mo and the girl, and then they drive off.
No, the girl wasn't with them. It was just Mo.
I don't remember.
I remember some of it, Robin.
You could put her there or not. It doesn't change anything.
I know.
But it's like...
But the kid pukes in the car, and he's like, sorry, I puked in your car.
I know. that's what I remember.
Also, FYI, the kid acting is pretty bad.
Also, you know what, guys? This is my notes. After he eats shaving cream, that's the note. My note is hijinks all around. Yep, it's the stuff. Oh, look, they saved the kid. Yep, now they blow up a quarry. That's my notes. Oh, now they've stolen an oil truck, and they saved the kid again.
Oh, you know what? You know what was kind of what was weird? Okay, so then they say, okay, now we're gonna go tour the place.
Yeah. So
they go tour the place. The kid goes off on his own to go look around because he's small and he's sneaking around.
No,
somehow
it starts because they leave, and then the Mo guy is like, should we bring the kid with us? Like, nah, he'll be fine. I'm like, we'll leave him in the plane with the airport guy, but like, if we, and he tells the guy who rides the airplane, he's all like, if we don't come back in 3 hours, you guys drive to like some other fucking place in the world, and you call me, and he'll call me there and some shit or whatever. And then the stuff was, and then they leave to go get a tour, and then the stuff invades the plane while the guy was just sitting in the pilot seat, kills him, hollows him out, and then like you see the stuff going to the kid, and I guess the kid knew where to escape because he found an ejecting on the bottom and the back of the jet, so he gets out.
There's usually something like that in the back of those planes.
Yeah.
So that's not too far-fetched, but it's still kind of like, no, it would bring up the question, wait, how the fuck did he know though?
Yeah. And then he surprisingly hides well because he's on top of the car on the stuff. And then he sees like, these trucks are going somewhere. And the kid, he goes inside like these big giant trunk things that's hollowed out.
In the tank.
It's an oil tanker. Yeah. He goes inside an oil tanker.
He goes inside it, and then they lock him in there. And I don't know much about oil tanks, but I'm like, wouldn't the kids? Can you suffocate in those, or?
Yeah, you can. It's steel.
Yeah, but like, he was only in it for like fucking, a day. He would have been fine. You can live. No, I'm being serious. Like, you can live in you can live a pretty long time in a coffin if you're locked in, can't you? Like this is kind of getting a little dark, but like, there's an amount of time. He was fine, is what I'm saying.
Oh,
like he was in more danger later in the movie than he was from just suffocating.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he was.
No, but there wasn't any oil. There wasn't any oil in the tanker. It was an oil tanker, but it was used to transport the stuff.
Yeah, so, but they weren't. But that truck was going to the stuff at first.
Yeah, but there wasn't anything in there, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And the kid was there for a good couple of hours because the Mo finds where he's at, because after the tour they weren't able to go see like deeper in it. They go to a motel, and then like just as they were like knocking down the motel, the pillows are made out of the stuff, so they try to suffocate Mo to death.
And this is where we find out what the only weakness to the stuff is.
Fire!
The stuff is weak to fire!
God.
And then they leave.
They figure that out, they leave, they decide, okay, now we're gonna go get another tour, but we're not gonna get any help. Mm-hmm. So then they go, and then that's when the guy is like, okay, I'm gonna try to take one of these guys' suits and then try to figure out what the hell's going on.
And no. They stop the truck, and then they park like in the middle of like some forest, and they see that these trucks are going to this place, and they're like, "How are you gonna sneak in?" He has a backpack with him that magically, I don't know where he fucking got it or how he did it. He opens it, and it has a suit that looks exactly like the ones they're wearing over there in the truck field right now.
Got it at Walmart.
And he's all like, "Don't worry, I got it covered."
They're having a special.
I got it at Walmart, along with my peanuts. Because I'm totally not Jimmy Carter.
And then he
sounds like Jimmy Carter.
And
come on.
He tells the girl, he's all like, he's like, "Girl that I met and I hired, and I act like if I love you, I want you to drive that truck, get out of here, and go to this specific location. I'll tell you, because I'll meet you there." And she's like,
"You look cute in that suit." It's just like, what?
Yeah. He's like,
I remember when you brought that up. It was just like, why are you? We're in a certain situation here. Why are you bringing that up? No.
Yeah. At that moment, I think everybody watching the movie went, what? What?
Yeah.
Where'd he get that suit?
God damn it.
And so he goes, and he's like acting like, casual, just like walking around looking like he works in the place. One guy is very suspicious of him, and so like he walks like this truck like behind a truck, and then the guy follows him, beats him up, and you think, and I'm like, okay, he's gonna beat him up and maybe take his disguise, but why would he do that? He goes and he gets the hat. It looks like he was gonna put the hat, instead puts the stupid hat on the truck and just leaves it there. And I'm like, where'd you gonna wear? I'm like, were you gonna wear the hat, or why the fuck did you leave the hat there? What the fuck? And at that point, that's where they also find out that there's a giant pool of this stuff that's sentient or some shit, and they're gonna blow it up. So for other thing, he conveniently has these strap things that strap to his wrists or his feet, his ankles, that are clay-like and basically are tying bombs or C4 or whatever.
Yeah.
And he's placing them around. And just before like he's about to blow it up, they find his cover, and he also hears the kid in this tank. And he's like, "Hey, get me out of here!" Like he's calling him names and shit. and the guy
and the tank is being filled up with the stuff.
And the kid, and in poor CG, the kid's like, whoa, oh, the stuff is slowly coming at me, even though it should have already killed me, but it doesn't. It's not killing me yet.
And not for nothing. Here's a criticism I have of this fucking movie. Okay, of which there are
just one criticism.
Just one.
Go on, Will.
Damn it.
Just one. No, but it's like the stuff is alive, right?
Yeah.
It's alive. It bubbles out of the ground, and you look at the giant pond of it, and there's these little semi-alive parts of it that are like moving.
Mm-hmm.
And then you eat it, and then it's alive because it eats you, and then it can pop out of your mouth like a daisy and like move around. The stuff, quite literally the stuff that is going into the oil tanker that the kid is locked in is just liquid.
Yeah.
It's just like moving at a glacial speed towards him. Like the stuff must be thinking, I don't gotta do shit. I can do whatever I want. This motherfucker's gonna die. I'm gonna kill him. Looks at watch. Tomorrow. He'll be in the trailer. I don't gotta do nothing. And then all of a sudden the door opens and the stuff must just be like, shit.
But like it's all this
boys, we fucking blew it. Turns out we should have done something. Cause we did nothing, and that was apparently the wrong course of action. But then it does nothing later.
Yeah.
Like,
and
it's
all
a
this
liquid.
and all this is like
out.
all this is in the span of like one night, because they sleep, they get attacked by the stuff, they leave the hotel and burn the stuff, then they go to the place, to the tank, tells the girl to go to the location that he'll meet her in, then finds the kid in the thing. Instead of going up and opening it to save the kid, he instead steals the truck, drives it all the way to the place, even though they were filling that tank up with the stuff, and the stuff was about to kill the kid. Should have killed the kid while the drive on the way, but instead the stuff was being so fucking lazy. Instead of doing that, or he was going super slow. And once he stopped the car, he finally goes up there, opens the thing, grabs the kid out, and that's apparently when the stuff wanted to go fast. And then he locks the stuff in there, I guess. And they pick up the girl and they take the truck with them because they use it as evidence, I guess, for something.
Yeah.
And as they're driving, they get stopped by a cop that's basically the stuff. And the way they knock the guy out, because the guy pins them all together, and the guy, Mo's the only one that feels like he's like, oh shit, we're fucked. And everyone else was so casual, even the kid. He's like, and he's like, man, the kid pretends that he loves the stuff. He's like, man, I'm hungry. I'm gonna go get the stuff. I'm gonna go eat. He's like, yum yum. And the girl's the same way too. She keeps dragging out. She's like, I love the stuff, like the stuff that we have. That's so delicious. I can't get over this. Did I mention I love the stuff?
I forgot about the cop part, because that part like literally had no point.
It didn't. It was just something on the bump of the road for no entire reason. And as they go, they're like, yeah, yum. And the cop goes there, and then it cuts real quick before they could actually fully knock out the cop. The guy, you can tell the guy was he shoves the cop, and then it cuts like if they knocked him out, because they added a knockout sound effect. And they're like, where are we going to? He's like, I know this guy who lives in this abandoned castle looking thing.
Okay. And this is the part of the movie that, boy howdy, if it wasn't already off the rails, now the train has gone off the rails, down the hill, careening into the forest, going through all the trees, and has hit the town! Here's why.
And surprisingly has not blown up yet.
It hasn't blown up yet.
We meet racist general.
Yeah, we meet a racist anti-commie general And here, he's a colonel, actually. He's a colonel. We've got to give him the correct rank. He's a colonel. He was clearly at one point in the military. He is in no way, shape, or form in the military now. There's no way he's actually in the military.
What doesn't make any sense is that he's part of like this, like an armored division. I recognized the insignia, and it's like they're an armored division, but they're an infantry unit. Like,
yeah,
and all his recruits are a bunch of teenagers.
Robin, this man isn't in the military anymore.
Yeah.
I think he's into. Okay, here's the thing, everybody. This guy is clearly past his prime. He's a little fat. He's old. He was in Vietnam at some point, but this is 89. No, this is 85. So he definitely got kicked out of the military for something. And his family just had money because he has a castle. And how many soldiers would you say there are?
A bunch of teenagers?
80? Yeah, there's 80 guys. Because some of them are like full-ass adults, but like some of them are pretty young. There are 80 of them, maybe more. And he owns at least 2 radio stations, and like has an arsenal. And like they pull up to this castle, and they get out of the car, and Mo walks down the road a little bit, or down the driveway, and like 50 guys pop out of the nowhere and just hut, and they like point guns at him. And then they go, I'm here to talk to the colonel. Cut to him being in a clock tower, just talking to the guy. The clock tower is attached to the house. It's not like a floating clock tower. It's not Minecraft.
Yeah.
Is that a funny Minecraft joke? Like, do you think it float?
Sure.
Okay, yeah, I know one thing. And like, they're just talking about like Mo's talking to the colonel, and he's just like, okay, Colonel, I was the guy that was in the FBI that spied on you about you having, and this is creepy, this is really fucking creepy, about you renting an apartment for a 17-year-old woman. Yeah, that's part of this movie. We're just gonna acknowledge that real quick.
Yeah.
And then he keeps going.
It has nothing to do with the main story. It's just, you're just gonna add that creepiness to it.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. And the creepiness builds because there's all the political stuff, because he's like, now I told you that because you would believe me, because I don't have the tapes on me, but I am the guy that sent those tapes to your wife. Yeah, that happened. Okay, so that's fun. And by fun I mean creepy as shit. And then he says, now, and then the colonel's like, if I threw you off of this tower right now, you'd land right about there. And Mo says, yeah, now I told you that so I could tell you this. You know the communists, and like how you were afraid that they were putting fluoride in our water to mind control us? Yeah. Okay, that's a thing. He goes, okay, well, you're right. They're not doing that. They're doing something worse. They've come to the United States. They've made a product. It controls our minds. They've set up a corporation, and they're selling it to us, and we love it, and we've got to end it. And the colonel's like, those bastards. What are we going to do? And like, he's just in. He pretty much did Rick Sanchez, you son of a bitch. I'm in. Like, that's essentially what it was. And then they're just
God.
like, they're friends now, you know. Oh well. And like, he goes, we gotta go to Atlanta. I own a couple of radio stations there. And so they film them driving as though they're in Atlanta. Atlanta's a big city, okay? They were clearly in a small town.
Yeah.
Small. Like a small dying town that they could pay like $100 to be like, hey, do you mind if we like go down Main Street and First Street, being as those are the two roads in this town? And everyone was like, go ahead. And like they did. then they get to a radio station.
No. Before they go to the radio station, they go to the factory place so they could blow it up. Basically.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
And so
they show up, and they take cabs, don't they? No, they take cabs later. They show up.
They show up with the truck, saying, pretending like, "Oh, we found this truck that's yours and wanted to bring it back." And they're like, "Oh," and they knock out the security guard, and then like as they're going, like the whole
security guard shoots the truck driver in the head. Then the guys come in and then they shoot the security guard.
Yeah. And then like you hear the announcement where like, do the protocol that we told you. Like if it was something like, do this protocol, like oh, remember protocol if this ever happens, and like what the hell's going on? And then
it felt like in that one South Park episode where it's like, Coon and friends alert, Coon and friends alert. I mean, seriously, you guys, come on. Like, wait.
What's it? They say like, the compound has been breached. Do not resist. Follow the agreed upon procedure.
Yeah, and then like. And like, what's the procedure?
And you're like, well, what the hell's the agreed upon procedure? And the procedure is just go into this room and die. And all of the stuff goes elsewhere.
Yeah.
So all of these guys are sweeping through these armed militiamen because they are not soldiers.
Yeah.
They've got to be just like the colonel's friends. Like they sweep through this compound.
They all have like Tommy guns and M16s.
Yeah.
In 1985.
And then all
I'm like, what?
And all you see is in that room that like they all killed themselves. It's just quote unquote hollowed bodies, even though they're just actors on the floor pretending to be dead or hollow.
And like some of them have their mouths with prosthetics, like their mouths opened really wide, and some of them don't. Some of them are just like that slightly opened mouth, like
Yeah.
And I'm like,
and like their tongues out or some
did you
shit.
not? Yeah, did you not have the money for the prosthetics? Because fuck, if you ran out of money, like. Don't do it on any of them.
And then I don't know what the idea of the girl and the little boys thing was. It sounded like they wanted to leave to go back outside, but they took some weird direction that's where the stuff was at. So it was following them at another very slow pace. And then when they try to leave the room and they successfully do it, it was just convenience for them too. And then when they run, you see the stuff fall on. They're like, what? And I don't know how they all got outside already, but they're like, what the hell's going on? It's like, what was going on? What are you guys doing? And then you see a wall just blows up and kills these two soldiers, and it was just nothing but the stuff. Yeah. And it's I don't know what they do to it. All I know at the end of that part, they blow up the factory like crazy, and then they go to the fucking radio station.
Yeah, where we meet up
with chocolate chip.
The radio station, they take cabs. And here I wrote this down. I'm sorry. They take a plane and they get out at the airport and they take cabs and the overweight black cab driver goes, "What is this? World War III?" And the colonel says, "Just get us to 44th and Main and no more of your liberal remarks." Like, what the fuck? That's just so dumb. What is this? World War III isn't a liberal remark. It's a remark. It's just, anyway. So, yeah. And then they're supposed to be in Atlanta, and it's clearly a very small town. And, like, they get to the radio station, and the colonel talks to one of his guys at the radio station. He's like, "What am I playing on my damn radio station anyway?" And they turn the radio station up, and it's a fucking commercial for the stuff. And he goes, "Get that trash off my radio!" and then there's some like honestly bad dialogue where it's like, what are we gonna say? Well, the colonel's got to say some things to like inspire the people.
All this movie's just
bad dialogue. Yeah, that's a good idea. And then, lo and behold, who comes back?
Chocolate chip Charlie. Oh yeah, I was about to call him Larry. Chocolate chip
Charlie.
Chocolate
Remember
chip
his name. Chocolate chip Chat. Can we get some F's in chat for chocolate chip
Charlie?
Come on.
Okay. Spoiler alert, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah. Chocolate Chip Charlie.
Chocolate Chip Charlie.
Because Chocolate Chip Charlie shows up, and he's like, "Hey, I'm Chocolate Chip Charlie. I want to be on the radio too. I've got things to say."
And this is where the Colonel's race is like, boom, like got triggered real bad.
Yeah, and they're like, "No, it'd be a great idea. People love Chocolate Chip Charlie. That's like 20 million people who love him. Yeah, sure. And he's
I don't
like,
know where
"Hey,
this come from, but that's good to know."
he's like, "Hey, I want to talk to the lady who's gonna be writing. You know, the only lady that we've mentioned in this entire film. I'm gonna talk to her because she's writing all these things that we're gonna say."
Yeah.
And then she's like, "Oh, hey, blah blah blah, Chocolate Chip," and he's just like, "Man, I've seen things. I've seen terrible things."
Because the girl takes that girl, she takes him to another room. She's like, "Come with me. We'll talk in another room." And she closes the door, and then that's where Charlie's like, "Oh," he says whatever. And then that's where
he says, "I've seen things. I've seen how it moves. I've seen how the people open their mouths really wide, how they're hollow inside." And she's like, "How do you know that?" He goes, "Oh, I know." And then his mouth opens really wide, and the stuff, and his whole head explodes, and it's a lot of really bad close-ups of really bad realistic, like quote, realistic effects. What are they called?
Practical effects.
Practical effects.
And then
his head just blows up.
No, it's like stretching and it's falling apart. And then when that happens, the kid walks in, casually. He just walks in. He's like, I guess he was like, "Hey, what's going on?" And he sees like the Chocolate Chip Charlie's head like on the floor with the stuff. Instead of him closing the door and running out, or like telling the girl to get the hell out of there, he stays in the room and closes the door as the stuff is slowly getting after them. Again, slowly.
Incredibly slow.
And the general was gonna shoot the window, but Mo was like, no. He instead grabs a gun from him and does the thing he was gonna do, but instead of shooting the wall, he was gonna break it with it. He hit the gun with the window with it.
And he didn't even, it was a bad effect overlay.
Oh yeah,
really bad.
I mean,
and I'm like,
everything
let
in
him
this
shoot it. It's the same effect.
Yeah, it was like, golly. And then like after that happens, that's when it transitions to the girl like talking about like the news report and how now everyone is like throwing like their thing of the stuff like on a pile of the stuff like on fire, and then they blow up like stores of the stuff. They burn everything of it. And you think it's gonna end there, but then it transitions to the thing where it's a TV thing, and you meet the guy who created it, or not created it, but like who started the company for the stuff that you meet in the movie later on. But he's not important until now, I guess.
Yeah, he's the guy who's in charge of the company that sells the stuff, and he doesn't eat the stuff because his doctors were like, "Yeah, you probably shouldn't eat that shit. If it tastes good, don't eat it." Because, I don't know, maybe he's got a bad heart or something.
Yeah.
Him and the ice cream companies. Do you remember the ice cream companies? Yeah, that's been a long time since we've mentioned their asses. Yeah, they've gotten together and they're gonna sell the stuff, except it's not the stuff. It's only 12% of the stuff.
Yeah.
And the rest is 100% dairy. And the ice cream guy goes, "Hey, it's just enough to get them to want it, but not enough to turn them into the stuff." And the guy, and Mo's like, "You sure about that, are you? You've had that tested?" He goes, "Well, no." And then the kid comes in, and the kid's carrying a box. And they go, "Well, who's this?" And he goes, "Who's the kid?" "Oh, that's not a kid," says Mo. His parents both died, and his brother, he's seen a lot. He goes, "But he's a kid." And the kid goes, I've seen a lot, man." Like, basically.
Yeah.
And he goes, "Anyway,"
shit, man.
And Mo pulls the gun, which is clearly a fake Luger.
It's a P38 pistol, a German pistol.
Yeah. Okay, so not a Luger. I was close though.
You were.
And and it's clearly fake. Like it's bad. It looks like plastic. Anyway, he pulls that and he goes, "I've got some things for you to eat," and it's a giant box of the stuff, and he like fires the gun twice at nothing, and he makes these two old men eat the stuff, and he watches them eat the stuff for hours, because it's night when they show up, it's day when they leave.
Yeah.
And they're eating the stuff, and they're addicted, and they're becoming the stuff, and like they're like licking the lids of the containers.
Yeah.
And
Like you can tell, like their bodies already like slowly becoming the stuff. And then you hear police sirens like, "Well, look at the time. The cops are now here for you guys."
Yeah. So they're just gonna die.
Yeah.
And then
the movie ends.
That's it, right?
Yeah.
Like that's just it. There's
like
that's it.
Okay, so what I remember how it ended, like so they start blowing up all the stuff or whatever. It cuts to like these people making like a backyard deal to get the stuff. Because God, this is how I remember it. Like he opens the box, he takes one out, opens it up, he dips his fingers in it, tastes it, looks at the guy who sells it, nods his head, cuts to black, credits.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's just how it ends?
I'm like, my mind's like, really?
It's a drug reference?
And I'm like, it ends up being a drug to them, like it's illegal as shit. I'm like, what the fuck is this shit? And it doesn't end there, because I don't know if you guys stay till the credits, but there is an end credit that...
Oh my god, why the fuck would I stay till the end? Oh, now... Okay, well, we're doing this now.
No, there's an end credit in the movie that only lasts for like 2-3 seconds, and it's just I don't know why it's at the end, making it seem like it's making a comeback. Like, oh, it's all it does. It's like one of the commercials that they always show in the movies. I mean, in the movie, like these commercials they made for the stuff. Is this girl who's kind of it's like it's framed from like above the chest up, and it looks like she's like nude, I guess, and she has the stuff in her hands like this in her hand, and she's like, you can't, it's irresistible or something like that, and then it ends.
Okay.
And yeah, that's
she says enough is never enough.
Yeah.
And it's right at the end. It's just enough is never enough. Black. Like, black screen.
Gen Zen's like that.
Oh my god.
So yeah, that that was the stuff. Robin, your overall thoughts and ratings on this movie?
2 out of 5.
I'm sorry, what?
2 out of 5.
Okay.
That's it. There's nothing else to go with it. We've already discussed how batshit insane it is.
Yeah.
2 out of 5.
Edgar?
So this movie's not good. As you can tell, one of us, this like the movie. It's structured poorly. The performances are really bad. The special effects are bad. Even the practical effects are just like it's bad, especially even at the time. But even it looks like, I guess you could say it had effort because they added these commercials for it, but everything else was pretty bad. Like nothing of it. The only compliment I can give this movie is I laughed at it for the wrong reasons because of how bad it was. So I was laughing because of how bad it was. In a short point, when I went to this movie, I was kind of hoping I would go into this movie like I did with Society. I thought it was going to be like a Society thing. Society movie, which we reviewed like a good while ago, like a couple of months ago.
I went into this movie knowing it was probably not going to be good because I was kind of, I'll be honest, I was reluctant about watching this movie in the first place. I'm like, I don't know. And I'm really glad that I was reluctant.
I was like, this movie, I'm like, the way it looks, I'm like, this movie might be like Society, where I'm like, okay, I don't know. But it was like, no, this is bad, but I laughed a lot through it. I would probably give it, I think I'd probably just give it 2 stars, maybe less, but just 2 stars. 2 stars out of 5. Will?
1 star. It's bad. I hated it. Please watch it. It's so good. Like, and here's what that means. It's so bad. It's so bad. Please watch it. Like, please take 2 hours out of your life to watch how bad this movie is.
Yeah.
Because it's so bad, it's almost good. It isn't.
Yeah.
It isn't good. Like, this is not a good movie. But if you are one of the people like me who can say, yeah, I'll watch a bad movie, I might enjoy it.
Yeah.
It doesn't make the movie good.
No, it's just really bad.
This is not a cinematic masterpiece. It's bad. It's 1 star. I'm not giving it no stars. It's 1 star. But, like, watch it because it's so bad. Some of the parts are so good. It just starts. Y'all, this movie just starts.
Like, you know what? I'm gonna change my score. I'm giving it a 1.5 stars. I don't think it's like 2 stars.
Bad.
Yeah.
It's and like you can give it whatever score. I don't care. I loved it.
Yeah.
I hated it. I loved it.
I would consider it's so bad that it's good.
Yeah.
Like
but it's not good.
Yeah, it's
like,
not. It's really
it's get a high rating.
It's so bad that it's just bad good.
God.
I will probably never watch it again unless I'm going like, unless we're talking to somebody and it's like blah 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 bad movies that are good, and it's like, oh, I've got a bad movie that's good.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen The Stuff from 1985? No, I haven't. Oh, it's fucking terrible.
Grab a beer.
Watch it.
And let's watch.
Yeah, grab a beer. Let's watch this.
Yeah, it's on Amazon Prime. I would highly recommend it to watch it with a group of friends.
Please enjoy yourselves. It's a pandemic.
This
just
ain't no cinematic masterpiece or anything. This ain't even good. It's just horrible. But it's funny. But, you know, that was the stuff. You got our ratings. And of course, you know, we're not going to end the show just right there. We of course have to do, you know, our untitled segment idea. So of course, without further ado, yeah. Welcome to the untitled segment idea.
Untitled segment
idea.
Last time we started with Robin and then we started with Will, and I guess I'll start, you know. So what I've recently watched is and yeah, you know, I was like, recently a new show came out. Well, not a new show, it's a reboot of the Animaniacs, which came out recently on Hulu as a Hulu exclusive. And I gotta say, I binged the entire season in one day because it's not that long. It's only 13 episodes. But to my surprise, it's actually pretty good. There were some skits that really didn't land. Like I was like, this really didn't hit. I would say more like the Animaniac stuff itself in this new season. Those were like fun. Like there was fun sketches they had. They had a whole sketch where it was a metaphor for guns, but they used bunnies, and then it transitioned to like an anime scene because they were fighting this guy.
Oh my god.
But I feel like the weakest part of the Animaniac reboot was they didn't have all the skits. Like if you go into this reboot and you're expecting like, I think it's Sally Squirrel, The Good Feathers, or like all these other ones, you're not really gonna see them, unfortunately. Hopefully the next season they bring them because they do something in the movie. They have an episode where they talk about these side characters and it's really good. The only ones they bring back are Pinky and the Brain, which I feel are the weakest of the episodes. Not a lot of the Pinky and the Brain skits really work. Some of them I really didn't laugh at. Others I'm like, okay, I enjoy this. I really like it. others I didn't like. The Animaniac parts are the ones that I really enjoyed. I really like the musical sketch they did. There's one episode where Dot was singing a song about women's right, and then it transitioned to her be like, "What? We need to give cartoon rights," and they do. That whole scene was just like reference to a lot of old Warner Brothers cartoons from specifically Hanna-Barbera, and I don't know if I'm the only one, or I don't know if you guys know, but I forgot the name of these, but it was a Looney Tunes spin-off show that was like takes place in the future, and it's like the children of Bugs Bunny and Tasmania and all those stuff, and it's like a future. It only lasted 2 seasons.
Tiny Toons.
No, not Tiny Toons, or like Toon Maniacs or something like that. It's like it came out like in the early 2000s. Or the mid 2000s.
They tried to make them more futuristic looking, and it was.
They do a reference to those guys in that song skit, and when I saw them on screen, I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, holy shit! I didn't expect to see these guys. But I would say overall, the reboot it's a really good reboot. I highly recommend, like, if you're a fan of Animaniacs or you want to get into Animaniacs, I would suggest this, because for me personally, I've never seen the original Animaniacs. I started watching some of it, but I guess I was like, you know what, let me watch the new one and I'll see what it is, and it kind of got me into the feeling. I'm like, you know what, let me watch the original Animaniacs, because their music, the song segments they have are really good, I want to say.
I can go next, but I think maybe we could do a first on this and do a. What do you say, Will? We do a joint one since we both played something recently together?
Sure. Yeah, that'd be fine.
Nice.
So, Robin and I, literally, seconds before we went live, we both played Phasmophobia.
Yeah.
For one round on, like the amateur ghost hunting thing.
Yeah.
Nice.
And, we didn't play it absolutely like we were supposed to, so we were both in the Discord call together. We weren't using like local radio.
We were still trying to figure out, because I did the training. Will didn't do the training, but for me, it was a while since I'd done the training, so I don't remember what I was supposed to do. So
yeah, I had no idea, and we spent time going like, how the fuck do you do stuff? How do you pick things up? Oh, that's how. Okay. What do we have to do here? Okay, we went inside the house. We figured out how to open doors. It is not as easy as you'd think. And so then, you know, we tried to turn on a lot of sinks, because guess what? If sinks have dirty water in them, they're ghosts
in that room or something.
In the room or whatever. And we tried to do that, and I'll be damned. That house had clean water.
Although I don't think we checked the water upstairs where the ghost was when we found it.
Yeah, the ghost was upstairs, turns out, and we were mostly focusing on downstairs. But so the ghost hunted once, and we got out of there, and we were both okay. Yeah. And then we went back in. And I'll be damned.
All of a sudden, the lights came back on too, because the lights
came back on. So I figured it's safe. You know, and then we go back in, and I'll be damned. Ghost killed Robin.
Yeah, I died.
Yeah, and I took a picture of Robin's body, and he died, by the way, right in front of the front door, literally seconds away from life, and I took a picture of him from outside. I was just like, well, click, I'm going to the van. And I got in the van, and I left. I did not guess the correct ghost. And we made close,
it was
$5.
It was either a banshee or a phantom, we thought, like, I think it was a banshee. And
phantom.
It was a phantom.
Yeah.
But we did make yes, as Will pointed out, we made a crisp $5.
$5.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with $5.
Baby, for $5.
Yeah, I lost a friend, but hey, I got paid $5. You know how it
five beautiful buckaroos dollars.
And I think that like this is going to lead us to like eventually we want to do when Edgar gets it, then we're going to do a recording of this, and we have a system where it's going to be like one of us will stay in the van monitoring all the stuff while two of us go inside the house and or whatever, and then we switch. So then it was a lot of fun. I had fun playing with Will, even though I died, but it's tense. It makes you think of like, okay, this is what we need to do. This, you can actually talk to the ghost within the game.
Oh damn!
And it's interesting. So they have like this whole thing set up. And yeah, when we do actually play it, we need to do it where like we need to be off of Discord and we're talking through Phasmophobia. I think like what we can do is just mute. We can be in the Discord for when we're not when we're in the main lobby, so we can just unmute ourselves.
Yeah.
Or I don't know.
Something like
but
that.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
We figure it out. We'll figure it out.
All right. Well.
Yeah. Well, that's the Untitled segment idea, ladies and gentlemen, and it's already about that time for us to, hit the A, do other stuff, our regular stuff. But, before we end this, I do want to give a thank you to everyone who's followed today, to all you lovely people who just followed, and to people who are still following, and to the people who have subscribed. Thank you all so much. We love you all. We thank you for the support and for the continued support. If you haven't joined the Discord and you want to be part of the community Discord, the link's over there. Just scroll a bit to find the link. Same thing with our YouTube. Just go there, subscribe on our YouTube, join the Discord, be part of the community. We're growing the community. Remember, getting us to 50 followers on Twitch will get Minecraft, and we will do a whole video or live stream it maybe of Minecraft. And we'll give you, and of course on the Discord you'll get early access, not early access, but like you'll get the information of what we're planning on doing early there, and then we'll post it on our Twitter and Facebook page, which you should go follow, which are in the credits here. But as well, we're not going to be doing a Thanksgiving episode on Friday, since we're going to be spending our time with our family and friends, and of course, we'll let you know what we're going to do next week and what we're going to do for the Christmas time being very soon. But I do want to... Oh. It sounds like...
Destroy the reactor.
Oh.
Save Mars. Quaid. Yo no soy Quaid. Quaid! Quaid!
Well, I guess with that note, I do want to, of course, I want to say to you all, return the slab.
Return the slab.
What's your offer?
Return the slab.
But one thing I gotta say to you guys. This early, but happy Thanksgiving to all.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving. I hope you all have a wonderful Thanksgiving with your family and friends in a safe manner, especially at this time. I feel Thanksgiving is the part where we all are thankful for be thankful and humble to be with our family and our friends that we're really close to. And so I really hope you guys have a really good Thanksgiving. If you don't celebrate Thanksgiving, hopefully on that day you guys have a wonderful day. We love you all. We hope you guys stay safe, and we hope to see you guys soon, especially with our Christmas month. Thank you for the support. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone, and goodbye. Wrong one. Not that one. This one. Goodbye, everybody. We love you all. Thank you all. Oh, no, God Howard! Why do you come here, God Howard? No! God Howard! No!
I don't know what's going on.
Oh God!
I tried to build one.
I guess they're all going in to the echo room. We love you all. Goodbye, everybody. Bye bye.